Shabbat Shalom, Mishpacha. This is Rabbi Simon. Good morning to you, good afternoon and good evening. I think we'll make it a quick start today, provided you can all hear me. You just give me a one, please. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom to Rabbi Kefa, San Antonio, Texas. And Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Benaiah, and the rest of the family in the room. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, great. So, our Parsha today is Parsha's Tsav, Parsha's Tsav, and I have, let me just pull up Parsha's Tsav over here. Parsha's Tsav, where are you, Mikra? Chapter 6. Okay, we'll look at that. We shall definitely look at that. Any questions that have come in from last week, previous week, before I go on? And I guess I'll kick start it with our joke of the week, joke of the day. This is where a sinner dies, goes to hell, and finds himself being escorted by the devil along a dark corridor leading to a series of dungeons. As he passes the first dungeon, he peeks inside and sees thousands of people being whipped repeatedly and screaming in horrible agony. Who are they? He asks the devil. Those are Catholics who ate meat on Fridays, the devil explains. They pass a second dungeon where he sees thousands of shrieking people being stretched on racks. Who are they? The new arrival asks. Those are Jews and Muslims who ate pork, the devil replies. They come to a third dungeon where people are being boiled in oil and screaming even more horrible than the inmates of the first two dungeons. Who are they? The sinner asks. Those, the devil says, are Episcopalians who ate their entree with their salad fork. So there you have it, folks. That's religion for you. If you follow any kind of religion, church system, man-made system, you will find that you're going to have horrible, horrible lives. And I'll tell you why. And I have seen it with my own personal eyes that these things do happen. For instance, have you noticed, most of you probably have, but this is something of note. Have you noticed how many religious couple, and they have all sorts of problems with each other about living together, religious affiliation, whilst you find that couples who have no religion, seemly couples who have no religion, they seem to be getting on great. And you look at them and you say, what the heck is going on? I have God, I have religion, I have church, I have denomination, yet I'm having problems in my family, with my wife, with my kids. And look at them. Look at the Joneses over there. The Joneses are living a very happy life. They're driving their nice cars and living in their houses. They have no religion. They probably believe in God, but they're not affiliated to any church. They don't celebrate any of the so-called hard festivals, but they just do them like it's a tradition, to celebrate Easter. They don't much care about who was born and who's not born. They just do it out of, we'll just meet the family, we'll have a Christmas dinner together, kind of like that, tradition. But they are very, they're plainly, by the Christian church, what are they labeled as? Sinners. They are sinners, they're going to hell. Now you imagine, you go to these churches and you listen to this word, week in, week out, you buy tapes from them, CDs. In the old days they used to have cassette tapes, now they have CDs. And they'll sell you these CDs and DVDs, and you buy those, you take them home, and all what's grinded into. You're getting the message, everybody that does not believe in Jesus is my Lord, he is going to hell, he's a sinner. Your job is to go and save him. How many times you heard that before? And when you heard that so many times, it's programming your subconscious, it's programming your brain to hate everybody that is not following Jesus. And what happens? You then become this man on the mission, or the woman on the mission. I'm going to save the planet. I'm going to go there and get all these people and save them. I'm going to dunk and dip them and make sure that they're all saved in Jesus' name. So you go door to door. You go and you volunteer for giving out leaflets. You volunteer to come to the church in the evening and do whatever it is that they do. Right? Why? Because you're on a quest now. You want to save the planet. You're like, hey, Jesus this and Jesus that, and you got Jesus in your head, and you've been told that everybody else that doesn't believe in Jesus, that be Muslim, that be Jews, that be Hindus, that be the atheists, that be all those kind of people, they are all going to hell. They're all going to burn in fire. And you're like, I got to save those, man. I got to save these people. So you're going from door to door. Every day you wake up, and your mission is what? Your mission is to save those people. Because to you, you've been subconsciously programmed like a robot. You got to save those people. Because they're going to go to hell otherwise. Well, the Jews are going to go to hell. The Muslims are going to go to hell. The Hindus are going to go to hell. Whilst the only person that you believe and your pastor teaches you believe that is going to heaven is, guess who? You and the pastor, and those people that belong in that congregation. And maybe the odd one out is lagging a little bit here and there, and they'll say to him, hey, belt up, otherwise you're gonna be whipped by the Lord, and so you're gonna be corrected. That's the kind of teaching that churches teach you. By the way, that is religion full on, 101, religion full on. And so many marriages, I have seen my personal marriages destroyed because of religion. You have probably seen your marriages destroyed because of religion. Not because I was intolerant. I was more than happy to give somebody leeway, room. But nope, they were not willing to give me room. How many of you probably, you don't need to put a 1, but I can guarantee you that those who are listening to this live and off air, that you have been through that experience where the other person refused to give you leeway because their religious pastor said that my, denomination believes that you have to do it this way. And they will find something that you are not doing according to their religious pastor's doctrine, and therefore you are a sinner. Therefore you are strayed. And therefore, guess what's going to happen next? Your family is about to be destroyed. You're going to have to end up in divorce, selling your home, paying child support. My goodness. And the list goes on and on. It doesn't stop there. So, what is it that we need to do? This is why we went through a session of neutrality. We have to be neutral. God didn't make us one way or the other. God didn't make us to be hardcore fascists, religious fascists, or, completely cold. This is why Jesus goes and says that either you be hot or cold, but not lukewarm. Okay, now a lot of people have taken that completely the wrong way. Completely the wrong way, and they use it to say, well, if he don't go to church, he is cold. He is, maybe sometimes he goes to church, maybe sometimes he doesn't, then he's lukewarm. Then the Lord is going to spit him out of his mouth. Well, the Lord can't even fit you in his mouth, let alone spit you out. So, unless he's a whale, unless he's a whale, he's going to eat you up. This is the kind of preposterous nonsense that you hear from churches. And I had this particular student of mine yesterday. He was sending me text messages from Singapore, and I've told him a number of times that he needs to get off his horse, and he needs to stop this nonsense that he was into, and he still hasn't done anything about it. He might do something about it. Now I told him this Passover or this Yom Kippur, or you're going to continue in this nonsense and you're just wasting your life. Because what he did, listen to this. This is a true story now. What he did years ago, and I'm not talking about this like 1-2 years. This is a decade, my friends, family, decade. Awesome Tribes of Israel, 1 decade this person has been, probably decade or more, he's been doing this. He said he took a vow of poverty because his pastor said that was the right way to lead his life and be pious. A vow of poverty, a vow of not getting married. 2. And he basically had made these vows that he was taught by his so-called church in Singapore that you have to do this. And so he committed to the vow. Few years later, he came to the realization that he'd been taught certain lies. And he then, at the time, whether he could or couldn't, didn't know how to break the vow, because they have no idea how to break a vow, because clearly there are methods and methodologies and time frames when you can break a vow and be not guilty. And there are times when you break a vow, you can be guilty. So anyhow, I explained to him, he came to me maybe, 2 years ago, or 3 years or 4 years ago, and I told him that, your vow, you can't be broken. Anyhow, nothing was done, he kind of carried on. And he then, espoused a wish to marry some woman that he felt got saved. And I was like, and this has been going on for a decade now. This woman that apparently saved him from these vows, or not so much vows, but the other things that were happening to him. Took him out of kind of religious and gave him some light. And apparently this woman happens to be an actress in some other country. And I was like, he says, I want to marry this woman. And I asked him, I said, he made a mention of 2009 or something. And I said, if it's been over a decade and this woman has never contacted you, you are living in a la-la land, dreamland. You need to seek a wife that is, within your spheres, within your reach. And if you love a person and that person hasn't connected with you 10 years, to me that 10 years is too long. That didn't happen. It's not meant to happen. So I said to him that, this is a pipe dream, waiting for an actress to contact you to marry you, and you'll probably be 80 years old and still waiting. So I told him, I said, there are a number of things that you need to do in order to acquire a loving wife. And so I gave him some of those things last night, and I was trying to sleep, and he was sending me text messages left, right, center, because I wanted to get to bed, because I have to get up early in the morning. So anyhow, in the end, I just left the last message, and I thought I'll connect with him in the morning, whatever else he's got to say. But really, I basically left him with a message that if you want to break a vow, you are able to. You have to give a tzedakah offering to the priest. That's myself. I said you have to send me an offering to the website forever-israel.com, to the donate site, mark it down as tzedakah offering for a vow, name your vow, or send me an email and tell me your vows, what they are. Then I will stand on your behalf before Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Israel, and I will remove your vows. That's how they are done. And I said, it has to be done. He got 2 particular times. Passover coming up, April 3rd is our Passover of Enoch, Hanuch, and I said, then you have the April 20, 21, the lunar one, and then you have the Yom Kippur. Your choice. You want to do it now, or you want to wait till the end of the year? It's up to you. I would do it as fast as possible. Get rid of these vows and never ever go back to them. Free yourself from these things that you committed to, so that your life may move forward and not backward. Because right now, I said, all you're doing is moving backward. Every time you take 1 step forward, 2 steps back, because you've taken a vow and you can't move. And so I said to him, certain things need to happen and you need to do it fast, ASAP. So anyhow, that was one of my conversations. My goodness, so many conversations I have with people. And I had some messages from another, I guess I can't call him a student, but a well-wisher, a Muslim guy who's trying to get some understanding on biblical scriptures versus Christian doctrine. In other words, what is really facts, absolute facts, versus just myths and mythologies and things that Christians believe that are entirely not true. So that's basically things like there's a few things he mentioned, so I kind of explained it to him. He asked me the stance. He said, what is your stance? Because Christians, are they doing the right thing? He said, what is your stance on the Bible? He said, which books of the Bible are holy to you? And you know what my answer was? If the whole Bible is lost and I only have the first 5 books left, I can live my entire life happily and in glee under the laws of Yahweh, the God of Israel. I said, that's what God of Israel calls himself, the I am, Yud-He-Wah-He. I said, people can call him in different consonants, they can say Yehovah, they can say Jehovah in the English language, or they can say some other variants, Yahweh, Yahweh, whatever. I said, it doesn't matter to me. To me what matters is Yahweh said, I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I will be. I said, to me, if all I had left was those 5 books and the entire Bible was lost in history, I would have absolutely no problem living my life clearly happy and complete bliss and holiness. And he said to me, wow, he said, so what books do you rate of the Bible? I said, it's the same question rephrased. I said, let me put it this way. When you build your house, you put the Torah first. That's your foundation. I said, when your second bit is your prophets and your third bit is your New Testament. I said, I do not rate any book. I don't care what book, whether Matthew wrote it or whether our president of the United States wrote it. I don't care who wrote it. I said, the books that matter to me are the first 5 books. After that, everything is commentary to me. The prophets is commentary. The New Testament is commentary. For me, the Torah is absolute holiness, absolute holiness. And if you ask me for scripture, yeah, I call scripture New Testament. I call prophet scripture. But if you ask me that what do I actually hold to absolute value, and I told you the Torah. That's what I hold to absolute value, over and above everything. But having said that, he said, then what stance do you hold on Jesus? I said, my stance is very clear. Jesus is the I am of the Torah. And if Jesus is not the I am of the Torah, then Jesus would be a false God or a false Messiah. So I said, the only Messiah, the only one that can redeem us, there is only one. And that is spoken about in the Torah, that is spoken about in the book of Isaiah, in the book of Jeremiah, in the book of Ezekiel. Everybody references that and says, only Yud-He Vah-He, the I am is the Savior. So I said, unless Jesus is I am, which I believe He is, then, that is my stance on Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. And I said, of course, in your country, you people call Him Hazrat Isa. I said, Christians call Him Yesu, and I call Him the Master Yehoshua, the I am, the great I am. So I said, that's how I see it. And he said, what about Trinity? So what about Trinity? I said, nothing about Trinity, because God is a plurality. Question is, how many is He? Is He 1? Is He 3? Is He 5? Or is He really 10? So I said, God demonstrates Himself with 10 particular attributes. And those 10 attributes are revealed in the spirits of God. So to me, yeah, Christians believe in a Trinity, and I don't have problem with Trinity. But I said, to me, God is a plurality of 10. Now, what do you do with those 10? It's nothing. You serve the one God. You serve the one God, Echad, one unity of God, the one God that exists, and it reveals Himself in those 10 characters. It doesn't matter, I'm not going to go so far as to say, well, those are 10 gods, because they're not. And how God manages to split Himself into 10, I don't have an answer to that. And I don't think I'll be willing to give you an answer. But what I can tell you is that the Son of God, Yeshua, Jesus, the Word of God, is within you. He's the one that came, He's within you, and He lives in you, and He moves in you. And so I said, it's much more important to understand that Word of God. Because a lot of people don't know that Word of God, what He is, and how He behaves, and how He works in your life. So if you understand the Word of God, then you're onto a roll. Then you're going to have an extremely blessed life. But I said, that's another story. So that was kind of my part conversation with a Muslim friend. And so I thought it would be appropriate, before I go on to the rest of the lecture, it's appropriate for me to speak about some healing. Because some people are suffering, and other people, also probably trying to get by and do things. And one of the things that I think is very important for me to clarify is that a lot of people in the Western world, if you notice, they die from heart attacks. Good food, good air quality, good way of living, yet people die from heart attacks. Part and parcel of the problem is the lifestyle, the way people live, and the information they receive from media. Media is TV, newspapers, radio, etc., internet and all that. So a lot of the information people receive is not accurate. So let me give you something of note, which will be very noteworthy, because some of you may be suffering from this, and I did suffer this as well in the past. So I can say, put my hand up that I suffered, and Baruch Hashem Yahweh, I'm healed out of it. But you may get hemorrhoids, and I had this issue in the past, and I've dealt with other people who had this issue in the present and the past, and maybe in the future as well. So what happens is you get hemorrhoids, and usually it starts with a bout of constipation, where you get constipated, maybe because you eat a lot of meat or something else, and you get constipated, and then because you are straining in your bowel movements, that can force the hemorrhoids to come out. It can also cause bleeding, and it can also cause severe pain. Then you can, you over here on the I guess over the top of the counter, you have different ointments they can buy, like, most of you probably know it who are hemorrhoid sufferers. I was one, so it was, Preparation H was one of those ointments that I'd used to use. So those are the kind of things that you may get. But let me give you the actual cure, because years ago I went through these certain problems, and I arrived at a certain cures, because I had learned acupuncture, Chinese medicine, and I realized that you could actually cure this problem without an operation. Now my sister, by the way, also had similar issues, and she had to get operated. And a lot of people get operated. I would discourage operations entirely. You don't need to get operated on. If you have hemorrhoids, the best thing you can do, and now let me tell you some of the things that I tried and helped as well, is that there is something in Chinese acupuncture called moxibustion. It's a little cigar stick. It's like a cigar stick. It's made out of a herb. You can use that to heat. You can use it. It becomes like a heated cigar. You can use that heated cigar. You now have to get somebody to help you, your opposite partner, and they're going to have to help you with this if you have this issue. You can heat the hemorrhoid directly with that for about 5 minutes. You heat it. That's how I cured my hemorrhoids at one time entirely, just using that method. And whilst doctors will say you need an operation, you don't. And then the other thing you do is a certain things you apply. Now there's a lot of things that you can try, and they're going to be extremely painful. Some people try putting in, they crush garlic and they try putting that in their rectum, and it really burns. I would say avoid that if you can. That's not gonna, that might help, but it's going to burn a lot, and you're probably not going to like it, so don't do that. Let me give you the best cure, the real good cure that you're going to love, and you're going to put in your list of cures. What you do is you're going to get turmeric powder, and you can buy turmeric powder from any Pakistani stroke, Indian, Bengali store. Even Arab stores sell it. Now you're going to get turmeric powder, it's yellow looking. You're going to take a spoonful, you're going to make a paste, and you're going to put the paste on your hemorrhoid and use your finger with Vaseline and push it up your rectum. So you make sure it goes all the way in. So if you have internal wounds, which you're likely to, you're going to make sure that your internal wounds are covered with that paste as well, as much as possible. And you do that daily. And what you then do is make sure you have castor oil. Castor oil will help you to go smoothly until your rectum is fixed. And then what you do on top, you're going to make sure that you take some milk. Now you might say, hey, I don't like milk, or this, that and the other, because a lot of you Americans have sensitive stomachs. And me coming over from England, I don't have a sensitive stomach. I'm a hardcore, steel, built of steel stomach. So with me, milk is the deal. So if you don't like milk, you can use water, or you can use some other product. You have to mix one small spoon of turmeric powder into the milk. Drink it daily. That will wash through your stomach. It will go through your colon, and it will heal any wounds that are internal. Now if you apply this cure, I can guarantee you within 5 days you'll be completely healed, 100% healed in 5 days. Now of course, the healing may continue, but you should continue to take it until you're fully healed. But I say castor oil, because castor oil, when you're constipated, just take about half a spoon daily, or every second day, so that you can go to the restroom, or as we call bathroom in England, without straining yourself. Now this cure, by the way, is going to, my goodness, make many people free from all sorts of medicines and ill health. Now let me give you another top cure on top of that. On top of that, the cure is this, that part and parcel of the problem is a lifestyle where you get up in the morning, you're in a rush to go to work, you have a quick breakfast, you drink cold drinks, you drink cold juices. Some people over here, I notice that they love cold juices in the morning. Grape juice, orange juice, maybe mango juice, or whatever juice they love in the morning, they drink it and they go. So, oh, that's great tea, yeah. So, the juices, my recommendation for the juices is don't do that in the morning. In the morning, first thing, when you get up, if you get up at 6 in the morning, and some of us, early birds, some of us get up at just past 4, 4:45, 4:30, 5 o'clock, some of us get up at that time. So, whatever time you get up, whatever shifts you do, you might say, I do night shifts, that's fine too. If you get up for night shifts in the evening or late afternoon, first thing you do is you put some hot water into your stomach. So you take, I know it's going to be too much to say 4 glasses. Recommended is 4 glasses. I don't think you're going to manage 4. But I will encourage you to manage 1 glass of warm water, not entirely hot, warm water. And try, if you possibly can manage it 2, maybe over time you can, then you can do 2 glasses, but try to do at least 1 glass of warm water. Warm enough, like not hot piping hot, but not cold and not just lukewarm, little bit warmer than lukewarm, in the middle somewhere. Drink that water. First thing you get up, you drink it, or you put it on your table before you go to the bathroom, you drink it. Now what that will do, that will flush your system. That will flush your stomach, that will flush your intestines. It will be like, your intestines are, your intestines and probably your arteries are like, covered with sludge. So your intestines especially are covered with sludge. I read about, once I read about this great cowboy actor, John Wayne. Apparently John Wayne, when he died, they tested obviously they did an autopsy on him, and he had about, 14 or 15 pounds of meat still stuck in his intestines, lower colon. Now you think about that for a second. Over the years, he probably was an avid meat eater, and he probably did other things probably not very healthy, and so when he died, he had that still in his intestinal tract. And so my suggestion to you is you must do 1 to 2 glasses of warm to hot. By the way, Chinese people, they only drink hot water. This is something I learned when I went to China years ago. When I went to China, and so in each house is this little bottle, thin container that had heated water in it. It's like, what is this for? And when I asked for a water, they gave me hot water. I was on a Chinese plane traveling, and they gave me, I said, can I have a glass of water, please? And in a normal airline, like a British or American, they'll bring you cold water. And here they brought me hot water. I was like, this is hot water, not cold water. It's like, oh, okay, this is Chinese thing. So I kind of got into that. Okay, so why do the Chinese drink hot water? And then I learned that it's because of health reasons. Because warm water is, your stomach has fire. And Chinese people, they believe in the 4 elements, and the acupuncture system is based either on the 12 meridians or the 4 elements: earth, fire, water, metal. So your stomach, by the way, although they call the fire the liver, but your stomach is part of the fire system. So you do not put water into your fire and you quench the fire, you put the fire out and you cause all sorts of problems. A lot of the people that suffer from problems, stomach ailments, problems from intestines due to fire issues. In other words, they are drinking cold things, cold drinks, ice cream, other things. They're killing themselves slowly. Rabbi Kefa is saying that here in San Antonio, they look at my wife like she's from another planet asking for hot water. Yeah, I bet they do. So they're not used to that. So, here everybody wants to drink cold water. So my suggestion to you is, number 1, try to drink 1 to 2 glasses of mildly hot water, if I can put it correctly, every day. Make that a part of your life. And number 2 is sip your water. Do not gulp it. Do not go good, when you drink. Yeah, I'm really thirsty. Good, and there it goes, whole glass down. Don't do that. Very, very bad for you. Always sip your water. 1 sip at a time. Thirdly, that this is a recommendation, by the way. Recommendation is this, that those people who had taken hot water and they were ill, and they took hot water for stomach related illnesses between 10 days to 15 days. They had diseases of the stomach, they had diseases of the kidney, they had diseases of the liver. They took just hot water, and they reduce their diet to nothing other than hot water and a little bit of other stuff to eat to make sure they don't feel hungry, and they were able to cure their diseases in 1 to 2 weeks. They were able to eliminate most of their symptoms that they were tested on with just hot water drinking and a little bit other food. That's number one. Number two, cancers. People who were cancerous, patients who had cancer, they were cured with hot water by 4 months. Took them 4 months, and they were completely able to eliminate their cancer entirely. Now, that doesn't mean that you just drink, you drink hot water and eat, pork and have, pork chops and lamb chops and, beef chops and, you kind of indulge. It doesn't mean that. It means that they went on a diet with hot water and a few other things to, so that they don't die from hunger, but they potentially, they had hot water in the daytime, they maybe had a few eggs, maybe an egg in breakfast, and maybe they had some other stuff that wasn't so, maybe they had fish every day a little bit, and, little chicken. So these are the people that came out of cancers and all sorts of problems. Thyroid problem, the same, Adelia. If you have a thyroid problem, start drinking water every day, 1 to 2 hot water glasses, and thyroid problem is related to your system, to your upper, if I start speaking Chinese lingo, it'll be your upper burner is where the problem is, but it comes from the, it actually stems from your lungs and from your stomach. It does come up from there, and I've seen a lot of people with thyroid problem. Now, one thing that really helps thyroid patients, is that eating soup that is made from seaweed. You can readily get seaweed from many Chinese and Oriental stores in your area. Make that soup, drink it regularly. It would really help it. It's called kelp soup. Yep, that's right, Rabbi Kefa. You know about that. So kelp soup, and number two is make some colloidal silver water, or buy some and drink some of that. That will help you as well with thyroid problem. I once cured my daughter's thyroid problem entirely with just silver water, because the doctors were going to operate on her, and I said, don't go for an operation for your lump. I will give you something, you just drink this. And she just drank that, and the operation was cancelled, and she didn't have no more lump left. So silver water is very good. Kelp is very good. And remember, hot water and everything. So that's something that you must. Another habit that Americans don't have that will be good for you to have is learn from the British and learn from the Sri Lankans and learn from the people in the East is drink tea. Now, tea can be made with milk or without milk, with sugar, without sugar. So those of you who don't like to drink sugar, who don't like to drink milk, you should do what the Chinese do, and you should do what the Easterners do. They drink kava. Kava is basically a drink in which, kava is a drink in which you put some leaves. It might be mint leaves, it might be some other tea, and you boil it for about 15 minutes and you drink it. When I was in Pakistan, it's Kava, and I had this kava in the northwest frontier of Pakistan. I had my meal and I said, I'd like to have your kava as well, please. And the man went out and made beautiful kava. I tell you, I loved it. And I was like, I said, bring me a big pot. And he brought me a big pot, and I kind of drank about 3 cups. I loved it. It's beautiful. So if you can get that, usually is some type of tea. Usually they make it out of mint. Usually kava is made out of mint, or sometimes out of other types of tea. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I just love the thing. Whenever I go abroad to Pakistan or those kind of countries, or in the Middle East, I drink my kava. I make sure I get it. So, absolutely, Rabbi Banaya. Turmeric is also very good for people who get constipation. It really helps, as Rabbi Banaya said, keeps you regular. So it's very important that we look at these things because they affect us, and they will immensely help you. So now let's move on to the other things that are pertinent. My goodness, I've got so many things to say, and now I'm kind of let's see, turmeric. Yeah, turmeric also, by the way, turmeric is also great for your skin. any skin diseases, you can use it, apply it on, but it's very yellow, and it does leave a stain. And I remember in England when I was using it, turmeric, and in here probably situation was similar. When I was using it in England, I applied it to my underside, and I applied it to some other places, and my goodness, my bed was yellow, my sofa was getting yellow, and everything else was yellow. So over time, of course, I had to get the yellow out. It does wash away, by the way, but you have to do it a few times, and maybe you have to use baking powder and other stuff, like ammonia solutions to clean it up. And so it does come out. It's not that, but it just leaves you yellow. But coming back to something of importance, third eye, the intuition, the part of us that is intuition, that God has given us, that you can use for intuition, called the third eye, which is the area on your forehead between your brows, right on top of your bridge of your nose. It's called the third eye. By the way, those of you who want to clear your third eye, apart from chakra cleaning, there is another good way to build up your intuition, is to use turmeric powder and apply it on your third eye, and it will give you a yellow mark as it did me when I was doing it. So people look at you and say, what's wrong with that man? He's got a yellow mark on his forehead. So everything else is brown and that is yellow. So you're going to get that, but it's very, very good for cleaning up your third eye. Also, if those of you who suffer from fluoride related diseases, fluoride is not a good thing. It can damage your bones. It can do all sorts of problems. It lives inside your system because you drink fluoridated water. The cure for fluoridated water is you take turmeric and you apply it as a patch on you. So just take some, half a spoon, quarter spoon of turmeric, paste it, make a paste, stick it on your upper arm, or on your side of your arm, and leave it there, let it dry up, leave it for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then wash it off, and then leave the residue. That goes inside. It goes inside your skin, inside your body so fast, and it cleans up your internal fluoride. And if you keep doing that for 20 days, you could be taking fluoride your whole life. You do that for 20 days, it will clear your entire fluoride in your system. So I highly encourage to do that frequently. Maybe you don't do it all the time, because you've been yellow arms all the time, but you can do it maybe every few months, 10 days of the month. Apply it to your arms, or maybe your legs if you don't want to show your arms. Put it on your sexy legs or something. That's fine too. You put it on your legs, and you can hide your legs, and nobody can see them. So that way the skin will ingest the turmeric, and it will go into your skin, and it will then clear up the fluoride. Now you might think that going into the stomach will do that. The answer is no. Stomach does different things. Stomach is more for, like I said, colonics, cleaning your colons, etc., etc. Drinking water, hot water, is like giving yourself an enema. You're going to get a typical enema in the morning, which is your hot water, and it's going to flush out your system. Very, very good for you. Okay, so this is for those of you who suffer with any of these kind of ailments. This will help you immensely. Okay, so we'll move on now to the other important aspects of our subject, which is, of course, Parsha Tsav. And here we are told, and Yud-Heh-Vah-Heh spoke to Moshe, saying, command Aaron and his son, saying, this is the instruction of the burnt offering. It is the burnt offering because of the burning upon the altar all night to the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be burning in it. And the Kohen shall put on his linen garment, and his linen undergarments shall he put upon his flesh, and take up the ashes which the fire has consumed with the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. He shall put off his garments and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. Okay, so let me stop over here. And it says, and the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it, it shall not be put out. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. Very, very important verses in my sense. Now we're going to speak philosophically what it actually means to what you might be taught. I guess Christians don't even read these verses because they don't know this. These are books called Leviticus. They don't know that book exists, so they don't read it. So what does it actually mean philosophically? But let me tell you another interesting interpretation of what you probably heard millions of times, but you probably never thought of it like that. John chapter 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. no one comes to the Father but through me. You see, Christians will go around telling you that you are a sinner. And you might say, yeah, I've committed some sins. But then what they do, they'll say to you that you have to believe in Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus, you will die in your sins. Well, let me tell you the correct philosophical answer to this is this. That's yes, you are a sinner. You know what that sinner means? It doesn't mean what Christians tell you. It means that you haven't received your desires and dreams and goals. What is your desire and dream and goal? It might be that you want a house. Well, is that an unrighteous thing? No, absolutely not. You might want a nice car. Unrighteous thing? Absolutely not. You may want some money in the bank. Is that unrighteous? Absolutely not. So are you a sinner? Technically, yes, because you don't have your desires and dreams. And what did Jesus say? That you do not get your desires and dreams unless you come through me. Well, where does Jesus live? He lives behind my forehead. He lives in my skull. He lives in my I am. He lives in the kingdom internal within me. That's where Jesus lives, by the way. So those of you searching for Jesus in the desert, going to Jerusalem to search for Jesus, going to Tel Aviv to search for Jesus, going to Samaria to search for Jesus. No, Jesus is not there. Jesus is right here where you are. You have Jesus inside you. He is your Savior, and He will give you all the desires and dreams that you desire. All you got to do is go through the Father. Who is the Father? Well, we all know the Father is. The Father is the great I am who created us. And Jesus is His Son, also God, but He lives within you. So what does Jesus tell you? You have to access me to get to the Father. What am I going to the Father for? Hey, I'm going to the Father, I need a house, I need a car, these are my dreams, I need them. How am I going to marry? Do you know that in some countries you cannot get married until you have a house? A bridegroom must prepare a house for his bride. He can't get married. So it's actually de facto. It's not something undesirable. It's very desirable. So if you desire a house, then you better go to Jesus. And where is Jesus? Jesus is in your subconscious mind. That's where Jesus lives. So the John 14:6 is absolutely correct, that if you do not get your desires and dreams, you will die in your sins. Why? Because nobody will want you. You are a pariah. Well, what do the society want from you? Because you can't pay your taxes, you don't earn money, you can't pay your taxes properly, you don't have a house. Women don't love you because you don't have nice clothes on, and you don't have a car with bling bling going on, and you don't have money in the bank. Guess what happens? Everybody runs away from you, including God. The God that Christians have made up. That God also runs away from you because that God is within inside you, and you're not using that God. You're not using Jesus to help yourself. So that passage in Jesus of John 14:6 actually applies this particular way. I am, he says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Well, what is the way? The way is through our subconscious to the Father in heaven, to His throne room. So when you dwell on it, when you want a house, and you dwell on it, and every day you dwell on it, I see myself sleeping in that house. I see myself standing in that house. I see myself cooking in that house. But it may not be me, it might be my wife cooking in there. I see my wife cooking in that house. Guess where I'm going to end up? In that house. Namaste to you. So my point is this, that keep yourself to what really is and not to what people tell you. Because you will be told all sorts of brainwashing stuff in the churches, and that will only create hatred, intolerance, and this kind of on my chip on my shoulder that hey, I'm a saved guy, I'm going to heaven, and everybody else that's not believing in my way of thinking, my way of doctrines that the church gives me hypothetically are all dead in their sins. Do not believe that, because that is a disservice to humanity. God created everybody. Now, some people have a hard time believing that there is a God. That's fine, that's, their take. I'm not going to sit here and argue with them because I have a neutral stance. Because I have no commandment in the Torah, by the way. In the Torah, the first 5 books, there is not a single commandment that says to me that I have to take my faith and go knocking door to door. There's nothing there. So, we don't do that. So, what do? We live our life the way we should live, which is exactly what I'm teaching you, is that you live your life and let other people see it. and they come to you, hey, how did you get this life? I like to have the same as you. And you teach them where Jesus is and where He lives, and how you come to Jesus, and why you came to Jesus, why you came to Yeshua, and how Yeshua saved you from all this nonsense, and how today you have such a happy life with your family. So that is the master that you should be teaching out there. And so we look at this passage, and it says that Aaron is to burn. It says that the fire shall not be put out, and it says that the ashes will be put out of the camp. Philosophically, the Kohen is responsible for keeping the fire of God's instructions alive. He lit up the menorah candle daily, and he kept it alive, lit up with olive oil, fresh virgin olive oil, specially made for the temple. Let me tell you now what's going on. A lot of people today are destroying their present relationships with past problems. How, you might ask, is that? Because they torture themselves daily. When they torture themselves, what they're doing is they're taking a thought from the past that why didn't I do this with my ex-husband or ex-wife? Why didn't I say it this way? And why did they divorce me? Or why did I divorce them? And they continue to smolder with that flame of fire internally, because they ignite it with that fire with the wrong wood and the wrong oil. When you do that, you continuously burn your flame. When you do that. So the solution is not to do that. In other words, the responsibility of the Kohen was to light the fire. What fire? The fire that is on the altar. Where is the altar? The altar is, if your body is the altar, your entire body is not the altar. The altar, the north. Remember, the altar was facing the north, so the altar is in your head. That is where the fire is lit, and that is where the fire is kept lit, and you light it with the correct oil, and you are seeking your desires and dreams there. Now, what do you do with? Let me come back to the family issues, what we call the baggage. Because you're igniting the wrong fire, and you don't have shalom in your life, you don't have peace. And the scripture says, the Torah is very clear, the Kohen, the priest, shall carry forth the ashes outside the camp. By the way, the camp is your brain. The ashes are your old relationship. It's not ashes because you're keeping it alive. So it's no longer ashes, it's still fire. It will only be ashes when you stop the fire. And it will only become ashes when you remove it. When you stop the fire and the ashes are there and you remove it outside the camp, in other words, your brain, if you don't do that, it's going to continue to burn, continue to smolder, continue to destroy you and your relationship, and that's the pattern you're going to live in. Time and time again, you're going to live in that pattern, because you are allowing the fire of your past baggage, your past relationship went horribly wrong, and you're using that to project onto your present relationship, and now maybe your husband, wife, they're having problems because you can't seem to let go. How do you let go? Because your memories, those memories from the past are haunting you, and they're telling you, hey, Sam, if you had done it this way, maybe you'd had a better life, you didn't have to do this, you were better with the previous wife. Or I might say, Jane, if you had done this with your husband Smith, and maybe you wouldn't be here today arguing about this. So how do we deal with it? You see, a lot of the law of attraction teachers out there, and a lot of the Christians out there will tell you, pastors and so on and so forth, and rabbis, they will tell you to seek forgiveness and forgive the other party. Does that deal with the problem? Not entirely. That is half of the solution, by the way. Half of the solution is you give forgiveness to the people you hurt. That's half of the solution. Plus you're going to have to go to them to maybe physically apologize if they're still alive. Secondly, if they're dead, you go to their graves. Thirdly, what's the next 25% of the solution? The next 25% of the solution is you forgive yourself for being involved in that relationship or that problem. So that's second part of the solution. What's the third part of the solution? The third part of the solution is to delete and overwrite. That very few people will tell you that. Majority of the people won't know this and won't tell you this. And maybe somebody out there who is very clued up, who knows relationships, maybe he'll come back and tell you this. So what is this delete situation? The delete situation is this. that unless you delete it, it's going to continue to haunt you. If you do 75% and you do not do the delete, it will continue to haunt you, and it will enter into your present relationship, and it will start destroying your present relationship. Then you'll be like, what the heck is going on? Why am I destroying this relationship now? I already had this problem before. It's deja vu. What do? Here is the solution. This is what you must do. You must write down your heart aches and pains. You must write them down. Whatever heart aches and pains you had in the past, write them down. Once you've written them down, they are not yet out of your system completely, they're partly out. Next, what you do, you build a script. And the script says, and you write the script, it could be Jane, who was living with her husband Smith, and Smith, had problems with her and she ended up divorcing him. So Jane writes as follows: I had a beautiful relationship with Mr. Smith, or whatever she called him, Will Smith. I had a great relationship with Will Smith. We loved each other. We were so happy. We were so overjoyous. It was a great time. So she changes the script. She redefines it. And she overrides her pain in her brain, in her mind. She repeats it daily. She repeats it. And she listens to it audio in her head. She had a great relationship. And now she has no longer got that pain. It's suddenly gone, finished, wiped. She no longer thinks about it. She no longer rests on it, that I had this great pain and great trauma. Completely wiped from her system. You might say, Rabbi, but isn't this fake it till you make it? I say, absolutely, it's fake it till you make it. Because your brain, your subconscious, is ready to act on anything you tell it. And that's the picture it will make. Because if you don't, it will continue to hound you with past relationships. For instance, anything that happened to you in the past, if you don't change it in the present, it reminded me of the movie Going Back to the Future. If you remember Michael J. Fox's movie, it was a great movie, Going Back to the Future. And he goes back, why? To change his present and future. You're going to have to go back into the future or into the past to change your present and make it better and make your future better. That's how it's done. You must delete the memories. The only way you delete the memories, you override them with good memories. That's the only way. Because here, if you have a computer hard disk, and those of you in computing buffs, you know that the computer hard disk, when you delete something, it's not deleted until it's overwritten. So it remains there. Same way our brain, you might think that you gave up a relationship in the past, it's not deleted until you overwrite it. Because that pain, that trauma will remain until you overwritten it. How do you overwrite it? With your script and with your repetition of affirmation daily. I had a great relationship, Mr. Will Smith. Jane keeps repeating that. So we have our artificial, hypothetical Jane, ex-wife of Mr. Will Smith, and not to the real actor Mr. Will Smith, some other Will Smith. She keeps writing this. And she keeps writing this, that I had a great relationship with my husband, Mr. Will Smith. I loved him, he loved me, we enjoyed ourselves, we had an incredible relationship. I wish him well in his life. Boom, gone. You do that every day, you do that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, guess what? You now have deleted that memory entirely. You have overwritten it. Now your subconscious has no way to go and find that old hurt and pain and torture you with it. Can't do that because you've overwritten it. You play the smart buff. That's how you become smart. You see, your subconscious will do anything that you command it, but you don't command it directly. You request it, because the subconscious is feminine. Anybody show me any woman who's doing everything based on commands? Unless she works for MI6, or CIA. I don't see any women who are going to work on commands. So you're going to have to request it. So you're going to have to, invoke your subconscious. You're going to have to do it in a particular way that the subconscious accepts it and acts on it, and it will completely heal you of your problems. That's one way. This is why when Aaron's passage speaks about you lit up the fire, the Kohen in this case, let's say you were the priest of your home and you lit up the fire. and you continuously burn that fire, and that fire could be from good wood, good oil, or it could be from bad wood and bad oil. So in other words, now you got to remove the old fire. You got to take the ashes of that old relationship and put them outside the camp. The camp is your brain. Remove it outside the camp. Once you remove it outside the camp, now you are free to move. Now you're free to enjoy your present relationship. And as I said to you earlier, you should write a new script now. What is the new script? The new script says that I have an incredible, fabulous, loving, joyous relationship with my whoever is your spouse, lover, girlfriend, whatever terminology you use for them. So this is where you will now start your new fire, and the fire will be, holy. In other words, it's a set apart fire. It's between you and your spouse or your girlfriend or your lover, and you continue with that fire in the correct way, and you will find that things will start to suddenly change, and things will start to be on the up and the up, because now shalom comes into your life. Because what did the Kohen do? He took the ashes out. What did you do? You took the ashes out of your camp, your brain, your subconscious. You removed them outside. So as I explained, that you have to do it this particular way. If you don't do it, you're going to continue to smolder. Otherwise, it continue to smolder. So once you overwritten the memories, now you're good to go. Now let me tell you something of my youth. I remember when I was young, and I'm still young, but when I was young, like I was like 4 years old or 5 years old, I was taught the 2 to 16 tables. And I was taught the 2 to 16 tables, one table at a time. First the 2 table, then the 3, then the 4th, etc. And it was so ingrained in me that even now today, at a beautiful age of 56, young age of 56, I remember all my 16 tables still. And I don't recite them every day. I could tell you the 16 times table. 16 times 3 is 48, and I didn't use a calculator. Right? So 16 times 2 is 32. Don't need to use a calculator. How did I learn that? 16 times 4 is 64. So 15 times 5 is 75. How I did that is because when I was a child, I was taught those tables. I used to recite them every day. So my subconscious is picking up the tables. Every day the same thing. Every day. And then they get etched into my subconscious. Today I don't even forget them. This is how you're going to etch that information into your subconscious. This is why I told you to write the script. Write a beautiful script for yourselves. That you're going to get up in the morning. If you are a person who works a morning job, which most of you do, except some of you might be on shifts, and I'll cover the shifts as well. You get up in the morning and you write your beautiful script. Your script will be entirely dependent upon you and on you and for you. You are unique. You are the unique person. There's only one you. You tell yourself that. That if your name is, I don't know, if your name is Jake, and so you tell yourself, Jake, that, I am the unique person. I am a great person. I am God's wonderful creation. So you have to remind yourself that, and you have to write your script which is to you, relevant to you. Now everybody's script will be different. It's not going to be the same script. So you have to pick your script. What is your script? You write down your top 3 desires and goals and dreams, and you put them on that script. And you write them out every day, religiously, ritually. Every day in the morning you do that. And you're going to write them out 5 times in the morning. Let's just say 5 times in the morning. And you continue to do 5 times in the morning until every one of them has come true. That means you better get a notepad, better get nice gel ink pens like I do, and you better start writing. And when the gel ink pens run out, there's also refills that you can purchase. So no problem. They are written beautifully, they write smoothly, and you can write your script every morning. And you can incorporate as many things as you want in your script, but you should write them down 5 times. By the way, this is a marathon. We are running a marathon now, not a sprint. We don't want these things to take place. They may not take place in 5 days. Maybe they take 50 days. Maybe they take 365 days. But we'll start writing them every day. Every day I write my script. Every day you will write your script. And you will write your script that is desirous to you. Whatever is desirous to you, you write that script and you use it. And let me give you something else. For those people who may be working shifts, they ask the question. So one of my students asked me the question. Well, I work twilight shift. Goes to work in the evening. How do I do my script? And so I said to him, the best time for you to do your script is when you get up to go to work. That would be in the evening. And I said, if you can do it at the end of your job, like when you finish work at 6 o'clock in the morning, then you can write your script that time as well, because that time is just past dawn. Is that time when things click, or you do it at night? That's the other times when things click. So I said, you have those two times. And he said, can I do it in between? I said, I would encourage not to do it in between. You can if you want to, but I would say the best times are those two times. But you can do in between. The results will vary, by the way. The results will vary. So you got to train yourself, because you are now writing your dreams, your desires and goals, so that you do not be a sinner. Because what church teaches you about sin is mostly garbage. So remove the garbage from yourselves and start, attuning yourself to the real deal. Because if you don't, then you're not going to soar high, are you? In order to soar high, you need to remove the garbage. And, vibrate on a word. Vibrate on a word and record it for 4 minutes. The object is to vibrate on a word, whatever word it is that you want. Now, somebody said that I need to have a house. Well, if you need to have a house, then of course that is a rightful desire, is a rightful dream. Everybody's wishes to have a house, to have a happy family. The Torah is all for it. God doesn't say you can't have a house. Church might tell you that you have to be poor and you have to be pious to be poor and without money and living in a cave. God doesn't tell you that. So what do you do for a house? It's very simple. You write your script, and you can do this. You can record this word, and you can vibrate on it. Vibrate means you speak it, and you speak it continuously. I am the owner of a house. I am the owner of a house. I am the owner of a house. You repeat that for 4 minutes. Obviously, you may not do it for 4 minutes. You might record it for maybe a minute and then copy it 4 times, and you have a 4-minute recording. Listen to this twice a day. This is my recommendation. Some of you aspire to be millionaires. Nothing wrong with that. You can be a millionaire. There's gazillions of millionaires out there. Nothing wrong with it. So what do? You vibrate on that word, millionaire, 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 millionaire. Record it for 4 minutes. Again, listen to it twice a day. That's your secret to success, by the way. And I have already given you some other great secrets, and they are that you have to have your chakras cleaned out. When your chakras are cleaned out, first thing in the morning you get out of your bed, or first thing at night on your shift, the first thing you aim for is you do the chakra cleaning with grounding. You ground yourself, you clean your chakras. You clean your chakras, your energy centers are all now whistling, ready to go. You're playing your song. Your beautiful song is being played in the air. You're ready to go. You're ready to accomplish the world. Your root chakra, as you know, is all related to your well-being. You're rooted into the ground. It's related to you, things around you. So the root chakra has to be in order. It's about you, your worth, about safety, security. Everything is that. All of that is based in your root chakra. And I haven't spoken about this, but there may be times when somebody is very fearful. Somebody's very fearful, gets all these wild dreams of nightmares, not dreams, but nightmares of death and destruction and something else. And they get these kind of dreams, and they say, what's going on? Why am I getting fearful and nightmares and these kind of dreams? What is it? By the way, that's your root chakra out of sync. It needs to be cleaned up. When you don't have that cleaned up, it can cause all sorts of nightmares, bad dreams, feeling of uncertainty, fearfulness. All of this comes from your root chakra fault. It needs to be cleaned. So I've also, I've recorded the lectures on that. Go back to the past and you get the chakra cleaning lectures, and you need to run those through for yourselves. Because if you are in that, if you're not getting somewhere in life, that means at base your root chakra is the problem. Like if you say, hey Rabbi, why haven't I made it like Bill Gates? Or why am I not a millionaire yet? I've worked so hard. It's your root chakra. You need to look at that. Once you fix your root chakra, you fix your life. There's a lot of stuff on chakras on the internet, but I will suggest that you wait out between the lectures you hear on there, because a lot of people put out stuff, but again you see different people do it differently. The method I've given you is very clean, very effective, very, very well working method. Not go wrong. So if you do it in that fashion, you will not go wrong with it. And of course you can run the root chakra exercise any time of the day, but my suggestion is that either you run it in the morning or you run it in the evening. If you don't have time, you're busy, look, make yourself time. You are important to yourself and to your family. Don't ever say, I don't have time. Always make time for yourself. Always make time for your goals, desires and dreams. Because if you don't, then who's going to be suffering? You. And alongside you, your family. So therefore it's very important that you do that. Very, very important. Now on top of this, let's go forward. Let me come back to the parable of the widow and the Master Yeshua, Jesus. In the book of Luke, I believe, chapters 18, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that. Luke chapter 18. Luke chapter 18. Okay, so Luke chapter 18 verse 1, and he said, he spoke about a parable. He said he said to his disciples that as a parable to show them they should always pray and not give up. What is always pray and not give up? Well, let me take this question first. Eddie is saying that is the root chakra clearing, the grounding you taught us, and the neutrality fixing? No, Eddie. The root chakra is the healing session that I gave you. I believe the healing session was the one that I went through the different energy centers, and the grounding was one. Then another one was for healing, and it may be the healing one. I'll have to double check on mine. So if it's going to be the healing one, where you're going through each chakra one by one, clearing it with your divine energy. That your grounding is done, then your divine energy comes down, and one by one you clear your chakra system. You start with the bottom, then you go to the next, the base chakra, then you go to your solar plexus. So you clean each one through your divine cosmic energy, and that clears up your different energy centers called the chakras, and you go all the way to the 7, to the crown chakra. And once you've done those, then my suggestion is look at the healing one. I think that has it in there, the healing one. The neutrality doesn't talk about the chakras. That doesn't. So anyway, so you do that as you see fit. If you can't find it, let me know, and I'll look on my side. I'm pretty sure it is the healing one that contains the root chakras. I may have to actually make another one. I'm thinking I may have to make another one which totally focuses on the chakras only and nothing else, and maybe looking at broadening that out a little bit. So that's another on my bucket list. So having said that, this is what you need to do. Now the Master Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, he spoke about the widow. And the widow's story, as you all know, was this widow that was persistently going to the judge. And as you know, the judge was unrighteous. And the judge wasn't having it for the widow. He didn't want to do what the widow wanted to do. So what was the outcome of that story? The outcome of the story was this, that basically the judge eventually gets tired of the widow, and he says that, give that woman whatever she is asking for, so get her off my back, because I'm just tired of having this widow come to me all the time and asking me for justice, and go give her the justice and then get rid of her. So what is the analogy of the widow? The analogy of the widow, what is it linked to? What is it linked to? And it is linked to this, that you have to be like the widow. And the widow went to an unjust judge. You're not going to an unjust judge. You're going to the just judge. The creator of the universe is the great I am. In other words, you're going through the sun. The sun is in your subconscious. You're going through the sun. The word, remember the word. The word is your thought, your action, your imagination. That is for, you're going to the Father in heaven and you're visualizing something that you desire. That something could be a house, maybe. You're visualizing a house. You love to have a house. You want to have a house. So the first thing you do is you give gratitude. You give gratitude to God. And after that, what you do is you will continue to see your house. You continue to see your house. And the best thing to do is to have a picture of a house in your head. Something you've seen on the internet or something you've seen in real life. And then you see the rooms, and then you see the kitchen, then you got that vision in your mind. Now you start looking at the house, and you continue to go to the judge. Now, by the way, you're going to the great judge above, the great I am. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but through me. Well, so you're going to use the word of God, and you're going to get to God through your subconscious. And you're going to be there to God, and you're going to say, I see myself in that house. I see myself in that house. I'm standing in there. I'm sitting there. I'm sleeping there. You're dwelling on it. You're dwelling, sleeping in that house. You're dwelling, seeing yourself in that house. You're continuously going to the righteous judge. Continuously go to the righteous king. Continuously go there. Go. And there is God up there. And God is up there with the angels. And God says, Fred down there, Fred is a hypothetical name, says, Fred down there, he continues to come to me. Or it could be Dorothy. Dorothy down there, she continuously comes to me, continuously pesters me that she is in this house at such and such location. So Dorothy keeps going to the judge, keeps going to write a judge. I am in that house. I am in that house. I am living there. I'm living there. I'm cooking there. I'm doing this. And one day, the judge up there, he looks at this. He says, this woman is persistent. She just won't go away. And he says to one of the angels, he says, go make this happen for her. Because I'm just tired and fed up of listening to this conversation every day that she wants this house, and I think it's time she gets this house. Then she will stop nagging me. Because if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for her. So the judge up there, who is righteous, he allocates an angel, a guardian angel, to you and says, go do it for her. And you know what happens in the earth? Well, what's in the material, what's in the spiritual, now comes in the material. From the spiritual world, the angel, does a few things, and suddenly Dorothy comes into money. She gets money from somewhere, and before you know it, Dorothy is purchasing that house, and she is living in that house that she's been speaking about, she's been dreaming about, she's been visualizing every day, dwelling in it. Dorothy is now living in that house. Now Dorothy tells other people. Dorothy says, hey, Dorothy tells her other friends, hey Mary, I got this house and this is how I did it. Hey Martha, I got this house, this is how I did it. So Dorothy now has a real testimony. So by the way, this story that I'm telling you is not make-believe. There are many things that are happening at many different levels in my life. Many different levels. And I can't begin to tell you, because some things have to remain silent, and some things have to remain secret until maybe one day I will tell you those secrets. So the thing is this, that when I tell you these stories, you can bet your bottom dollar that there's some truth behind this. In fact, there's 100% truth behind this. This happened to somebody. But I can't tell you who it happened to. Why? Because I'm not willing to give you the names of those people. But I will tell you this. That somebody got a house exactly the way I'm telling you. And I was the one who made that happen, by the way. I'm the man, the man of the moment, who made that happen. Their family could not get a house. They could not scrap 2 coins together. That's the kind of family I'm speaking about. If they had to scrap 2 coins together to buy a house, they would never be able to do it in their whole life. Because they hadn't been able to do it for the last, 50 years of their life. Or 40 years of their life, whatever their ages are. But this man comes along, Rabbi Simon comes along in their life, and boom! House is materialized. How? How can a house just materialize? Because I have the power given to me by the Most High God of Israel. And I can do things that most people can't do. The mic is not available for conversation, sorry. So, having said that, this is very important to understand that what I'm telling you are not hypothetical stories. These are real stories. These are the truthful stories, but everything can't be revealed to everyone. Because sometimes you have to keep names, places, events from public eye and ear. Because people become jealous, people become envious, and people then, out of jealousy and envy, what comes out of jealousy and envy? Well, Yeshua told you that, strife. So, we like to keep strife out of our homes. So having said that, I can tell you, as a matter of fact, that things that I have touched, absolutely, Rabbi Kefa, people become haters and, they won't like it because they didn't get them, somebody else got them. So it'd be like, why them? Why not me? So all of these things, jealousies, envies, they come out of your heart. Meaning that they come out of your internal to your external. So we don't dwell there. We don't dwell there, we don't go there. We dwell in the nice parts of where God wants us to be. God wants us to have our altars continuously burning, our oil poured out, fresh holy oil, not vegetable oil, not cheap vegetable oil from Walmart, but Crisco. Doesn't want Crisco on there. He wants virgin olive oil on there, and he wants he wants you to have your desires and dreams. God never said to Abraham, "Hey, Abraham, you can't have the second house because you already have one. Hey, you can't have 3 cows because you already have one." God never said that. So, raise up your desires and dreams. They are possible. They are available. But if you don't have the ambition, maybe you need to get some ambition. And maybe you need to be a little bit ambitious. And you need to reach out for your goals, desires and dreams. That is the story of the widow. Persistent. That is the story of constantly praying. What is constantly praying? Constantly praying is not, hey, I'm going to, go hide, I'm going to go to the church, I'm going to kneel down in front of in a building, in front of a cross, and I'm going to pray to Jesus. No, that's not constant prayer. Constant prayer is when Jesus said, go into your closet and close the door. What is your closet? Your closet is your mind. You go into your closet and you continuously pray. You continuously dwell on it. That house is mine. I am living in that house. You picture it. I'm living in that house. House is mine. I have a beautiful house, beautiful family. My car is in front as well. Dwell on it. Dwell on it daily. Believe it. And you shall have it. Isn't that what Jesus said? Isn't that what Jesus said to the people? Knock on the door. What is the door? That is your mind. That's your subconscious. Knock on it through the word of God. What did he say? Acquire it. Have it. You can have it. It's yours. Believe in it. So, very important ingredient is of belief is that you got to constantly be on it. And some people are, like flimsical and they are fleeters, they are on it 1 minute of the day and then, the other thousands of minutes of the day, what do? They're on other things. Dorothy said this and, my neighbor said that and, Jane over there said this. That's all they do. Some women just do this all day, by the way. And some men, they just do this. Fred at work said this to me and James over there said such and such. And so that's what they dwell on all day long and all day strong. What you need to dwell on is your desire and goal. That house, that beautiful house. You see the picture in your head. You're dwelling on it. Hey, I'm living there. It's beautiful. Today I'm going to make a barbecue in my house. And you're grilling your barbecue. And you're seeing yourself in the barbecue. That is the fire that you're lighting up daily in your subconscious. Daily you're going to do it. Daily. As a ritual. And you continue to do it. You continue to dwell in it. And you continue to feel happy. You continue to be thankful. Thankful to the universe. Thank you, universe, for giving me my desires and dreams. Thank you. You continue to give gratitude. You continue to do your chakra cleaning. If your chakras have problems or manifestation, your third chakra needs to be cleaned out. Your chakra, that is your sacral chakra, chakra in your above your navel, that is your solar plexus chakra needs to be cleaned up. So whatever problem, we deal with them. And when we deal with them, my goodness, you're going to have a beautiful life. And you're going to be like, my goodness, I came to this rabbi and he gave me the method of living a life. I go to church and they all tell me I'm a sinner, I'm going to go to hell. But I came to this rabbi and he told me what is sin, what is life, and so on and so forth. And my goodness, you really will start to see, the universe will light up for you. Okay, Rabbi Benaya is saying that, could you please go through could you please go into the chakras and what they represent? Sure. Let me think now. So chakras, we can give them some Western terminology so that people don't get confused. Chakras really are 7 centers of your body. And the 7 centers of your body are as such. Now let me pull up my notes on the chakras. I have them over here somewhere. Let's see my chakra notes. Okay, so we have the 7 chakras. We have the first chakra is called the root chakra, which is based at the base of your spine. It's at the cochlear or the oxyl, the very bone at the tip of your base of your spine. Below that is what we call the root chakra. The root chakra is basically related to physical survival, health, money, those kind of things. So when people are fearful, they want to commit a suicide, they don't want to live, they want to die, usually 9 times out of 10 their problem is with their root chakra. That's why they want to kill themselves. That's why they don't want to live. So we have to deal with the root chakra with people like that. People who are suicidal, always their root chakra is the issue. We have to deal with that. Your second chakra is what's called your chakra, which is around your sacral area, where your hips are, where your navel belly button is, around that area, is called I call it the base chakra, or you could call it the sacral chakra. So that's the second chakra. That is related to feelings of emotions, sexuality, vitality, etc. The navel region. So when you have problems with sexuality, impotence, other sexual related illnesses, then they are the problem with the navel chakra. That's chakra number 2. Chakra number 3 is the solar plexus area, and this chakra is related to action, personal power, and achieving your desires and dreams. In other words, manifestation is related to this solar plexus chakra. When the solar plexus chakra is in problem, or not in sync, unbalanced as we call it, in the energy centers, then you're going to have problem manifesting. You're not manifesting, things are not happening for you. You're trying, but nothing happens. So that means the problem is in the sacral chakra or solar plexus chakra. The next chakra, the next energy center is your heart. In the heart, the scripture talks about the issues of life with the heart. Well, guess what? A lot of what you do, a lot of relationship aspects belong to the heart chakra. Love for yourself, love for other people, they all are in the heart and connected in the heart. If your heart is not right, it has a problem, then you will have all sorts of issues with the relationships. Relationships will break. You're not able to maintain relationships. So when those things start to happen or have happened, then you got to fix your energy center. That's in problem is your heart. That needs to be sorted out. The one after that, number 5 on the list, is called the throat chakra, the communication center. The throat chakra will be related to issues of communication. When you have difficulty communicating with people, you're fearful, maybe you don't want to tell them something, and you're having issues to bring something out, that is your throat chakra's at problem. You got to fix that energy center. Number 6 on the list is intuition, which is basically your third eye. Third eye is between the middle of your forehead, above the bridge of your nose. That is called the third eye, and that is all to do with personal intuition, guidance, etc. And if you are having problems with intuition, you lack intuition, you're not getting personal guidance, then the problem is related to the number 6 chakra. That needs to be cleaned up. Energies need to be recirculated and cleaned for it to be doing the right thing. The number 7 and the final chakra is the crown chakra, right at the top of the head, and that is to do with things of inspiration, spirit connection to God and to the powers above us. In other words, angelic connections, connection to God, all related to the crown chakra. And that chakra is basically where you would need to fix. If you're having problems with inspiration, having problems with spirituality, then that's the area that we normally look to fix. So that is our 7 chakras that we kind of look at. And I guess in essence, any of these energy centers that are broken will lead to all sorts of problems. So we have to synchronize. We have to do exercises that synchronize, that calm, that activate, and that bring wholeness to your body. And that's my goodness, tall order for some people, because you have to remove stuck energies. You could have stuck energies there. Stuck energies will cause all sorts of issues and problems. And we normally we have to go through, we have to first of all find out what is the issue, where is the problem. And so when we know the issue, then we can deal with it. But when we don't know the issue, then we're just guessing. You see, a lot of the Western medical practices, all they do is they deal with the outside symptoms. They don't know, what to do with it. But yet, you see, we have polarities. We have polarities to the heaven, to spirit world, mind, expansion, universe, consciousness, freedom. And we have then polarities towards earth, matter, body, contraction, individualism, matter, boundaries. And all these are different kind of areas in which we've connected to the earth, we're connected to the heavens, and there's in between, and there's our thoughts patterns, our spirit body, our energy centers may be connected in different areas at any time of the day. And so we, in order to bring harmony to our body, we have to fix these energy centers. Without these energy centers being in harmony, I'm afraid that you'll be working very hard, but you'll not be getting anywhere in life. That's unfortunately the truth that I have learned in my life. So in order to restore balance, we have to clear blockages. And we went through this exercise. Remember, we went through the negativity exercise to ground you. To ground you, to remove negativities, to ground them so that negativities go. Then we went through a healing session to clear blockages. Then we have to create an alignment. And alignment, what it does, it fixes your chakras, the crown chakra, which is a consciousness center. And here the energy is where it enters from the divine, from above, from God. It enters over here. And from here it goes back up to the heavens. Very, very important area. And that is the area we connect with the divine and what we call God, or what we call the eternal I am. The third eye chakra, which is below that, and it is basically, as I explained to you, the center for also, by the way, also is good for, is used not just for intuition, but also for vision. In order to have a stable, a strong visualization, that also happens in the third eye chakra. And because if you have a poor vision, you're going to have a poor manifestation. So in other words, we need to fix this. Very, very important. Your dreams to be true, that this one needs to be in sync. Throat chakra we spoke about, which is after that. Communication issues are related to it. I'm going backwards now. Heart chakra, about love, relationship, physicality. Solar plexus chakra, about your power and so on and so forth, about your manifestation, etc. And your sacral chakra is your, what I call the navel chakra, is to do with pleasure, sexuality, etc. It has the element of water, by the way, and if anybody wants to know the element that's involved over there. And root chakra is again connected to the earth, should be connected to the earth, and it is all to do with the things I told you. And it is very important that we don't treat these just as, oh well, airy-fairy concepts. These are not airy-fairy concepts. These are real deal. And if we don't deal with these correctly, we will be in a state of instability. And what you believe about yourself, your belief about yourself begins when you're about 2 or 3 years old. You make beliefs about yourself. They get, into your subconscious, and they live with you throughout your life. So what we are dealing here with is a belief system. You might have a limiting belief. People who are born into poor families, they have a belief that they are poor because they're meant to be poor, because they are supposed to remain poor, and being poor is good for you. Yeah, that's true, Roughneck. The chakra system did originate in India, but our forefathers, ancestors in Israel used it as well. So they came out of India, and Abraham was out of India, by the way. So having said that, Rabbi Banai is saying that, Hakohen, could you please tell us about the foods that could help in cleansing the chakras also? Turmeric was mentioned for the third eye, any other for the other 6 chakras. Well, we'll talk about foods another time, but right today I think it's important to get that we got to, first of all, energetically, we got to cleanse our chakras, because if we don't cleanse them first, doesn't matter what food you eat, because you got to fix your energy center. We are a being that's connected spiritually to the spirit world and physically to the physical world. So in order to get a balance, we have to fix our spiritual world first, then our physical world. Most people, they just dwell in the physical and they forget about the spiritual. So we need to fix the spiritual, because I've always said that what is in the spirit will come in the physical. If in the spirit things are broken, they will show up in the physical. So we really need to, this is one of the things that we have to really look at, because if we don't, we are going to always be in a state of, a broken state, I guess. And foods are already given you a key food, water. Remember I told you the element of water. So element of water is very important for balance in your body. And then there are other foods. I gave you one, and I said turmeric. Turmeric is for your third eye, but it also not just will bring clarity, vision, insight into your into your different areas of your life, but also your body, mind and spirit. They need to be whole. They need to be balanced. So a lot is to do with these things. Your relationships, your circles of friends, emotions, etc. This is all very, very important. And I can, let me now think. How can I further help you? Let me give you an example. Women, a lot of women sometimes suffer from health issues such as chronic yeast infections, infertility issues, kidney stones, etc., etc. And these are, by the way, let me tell you where they take place. Your sacral chakra. When your sacral chakra is at issue, you're going to start seeing these problems. Sacral chakra meaning the navel chakra. The navel chakra is, where your umbilical cord is, your little umbilical cord, and where that is, if you start getting, women, when you start getting yeast infections, you can be 100% certain that your sacral chakra is having issues that needs to be cleansed, it needs to be brought to balance. And there will be, other things going on in your life, and they'll be related to other chakras. But I'm not going to kind of go into that. But what's very important to understand, that the lower belly, it brings us to the water element, and its eternal state of movement and dynamic change. So it's basically that navel chakra, by the way, is the hub of creative potential. So our navel chakra, it will help us in bringing us to the creative potential, and there are exercises you can do for that. My goodness, I can't demonstrate the exercises over here, but there are exercises you can do for that as well. Some funny ones too, like yoga type exercises. So having said that it's I can't cover everything in one section, but let me give you one particular good food for your navel chakra. Women who get yeast infections and all sorts of things like that. What you might want to eat is a papaya fruit, honeyed papaya fruit. Put honey on it, and put some raw coconut, on it, and you can serve that with some, in your plate, in your bowl, and this will really help out to clean up, to physically allow some healing into your sacral chakra. That's another one of the fruits that I kind of like. You maybe want to look into it. So that's one that's actually pretty good. Now others, I guess the other areas. I was thinking whether I should take you. Excuse me. Yeah, absolutely, Roughneck. You can add the room to your favorites if you like. And so, having said that, I was wondering whether I should take you through an exercise of cleaning up your different chakras. Or I think I did take you last time, and if I took you through last time, then you probably already have it. Let me just have a sip of water. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Atah. Okay, so you want to go through an exercise. I thought you might ask that. Definitely not prepared for it, but okay. Let's see what we can do. This is going to be entirely a chakra cleaning exercise. And so what I want you to do is prepare for it. Prepare for it by, sitting down in a place. Find a place, find a spot, and sit down. Make sure that you're relaxed. Make sure that there's no distraction. Make sure you're not driving. It's not a good idea to do this when you're driving. This is not for drivers, by the way. You have to do this stationary. No operation of machinery. I don't want you to be, running a lathe machine whilst you're listening to this and doing your chakra cleaning exercises. So stay away from machinery. Make sure that you are not doing anything. And if you're not doing anything, then it's time to begin. And I will take you through it. So relax. Bring your focus to where you are presently in front of you. Face an object in front of you. It might be a wall, it might be a door, it might be something else, a table. Face, bring your awareness to that level. Bring it to there, and we'll begin. Okay, we're going to begin. Bring your focus across the room where your eyes rest naturally. Bring your focus to your center of your head and then breathe. Close your eyes. Now ground yourself through your base, root chakra, deep into the earth. Expand your grounding. It goes deep, 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 deep into the earth, to the center of the earth. Feel the earth energy returning up the legs into your root chakra. Feel the root chakra absorbing all the energy that it needs to be a strong foundation for you today. Feel the divine, the cosmic energy coming down from above your root of your crown chakra, coming down the back of your body, all the way to the root chakra, to the base of the spine. The cosmic energy comes over there. Feel the energy cleaning the root chakra, releasing any stuck energy around your survival, health, money issues, cleaning all that energy out. Feel the root chakra as becoming a strong foundation for all your physical needs. No more fears. What will happen tomorrow? We're going to do this right now. Clean everything up. Cosmic energy is coming up from the bottom chakra to the navel now. Cleaning up the navel chakra. Clearing and cleaning out any stuck energies around emotions, sexuality and vitality. Feel the second chakra now full of motivation. The fire inside you, which is fuel for all you do, all you believe. Cleaned up. Feel the cosmic energy now going up into the solar plexus, which is your third chakra. Clearing out any stuck energies around manifesting, power, position. Now let this chakra be very strong, knowing that you can accomplish all your dreams. Breathe, deep breathing. Feel the cosmic energy going up to the heart chakra, clearing out any stuck energy around love for yourself or for others, cleaning the heart out. As this chakra clears and fills with new energy, you are now fully able to give and receive love. Now the cosmic energy continues up to the throat chakra, clearing and refueling this chakra. Let yourself release any stuck energy around communications. And as this chakra clears, you know that now you can speak your truth. Keep your eyes closed, see the energy focused. Feel this cosmic energy going up now to the sixth chakra, which is a third eye, cleaning up any stuck energies there, around intuition, guidance from above. As it clears, you give yourself permission to fully understand your situation, your guidance. Feel the cosmic energy going up to the crown chakra, top of the head, lighting up that chakra with new inspiration, spiritual connections, and feel the cosmic energy showering out of your head around your aura on all sides. See it coming out. Now be in the center of your head, sacral chakra, the crown. Now let's pick a chakra to focus on today. One that you feel there may be a problem with. At this point you need to let your intuition, your third eye guide you which chakra needs to be cleaned up more. You go there, you bring your consciousness, you bring your presence to that particular chakra. In this case, it could be your heart chakra. You bring it to your heart. Your awareness is, let's say, in your heart chakra or another chakra that you feel needs to be cleansed up. Feel this chakra's unique energy. Now you create a big rose in front of you and you bring it and you start cleaning that chakra that needs attention. You bring it into the front and you pull it out and you're cleaning it like a brush. Give it a deep cleaning and see all the stuck energies leaving. And you throw the rose, you put the rose outside your aura and you're removing any foreign energies through the rose. Now release any stuck energy that was in that chakra. Release it. Fully release from any old patterns of pain in that chakra. Feel the cosmic energy now refilling that particular chakra with 100% full, with vitality, energy and wholeness. Put this rose outside your aura and let it go, as stuck energy will now get released outside of your boundary. Your boundary is your aura around you, usually at an arm's length is the best place. Check this chakra at the back and the front for any energy cords that are coming and attaching to it from the others. Smile, grab those cords, give a pull and wait for them to come off, and then put those cords outside of your aura. Imagine you're gently grabbing all these cords that are connected to you from external sources, external people. You forgive them, and when they are released, you put them outside your aura with your arm. Take a deep breath as the energy releases. Feel all those cords have now been removed from you at that particular chakra that was having some problems and issues. Now this chakra is going into perfect balance with the cosmic energy, filling it completely, 100% full, ready for action. Now be in the center of your head, keep your focus. Be aware of all your chakras now. Now, run your right hand from the waist all the way to your forehead, spinning all your chakras, all 7 of them. Then do it one more time. Run it from your waist all the way up. You spin your chakras. And you see in your head all your chakras are spinning in motion. And all of them are completely full. Now you feel your unique song radiating out from you to the universe. Feel the cosmic energy amplifying the song. Feel it. Now you say with a smile, I love my chakras. I love being in harmony. I love planet Earth. I love myself. Remember the point that you saw across the room. Bring your presence back to that point with your eyes closed. When you're ready, stretch your arms out and open your eyes. This is the end of the exercise. Okay, so now you're in the present, eyes open. That was the exercise to clean up your 7 chakras. So you are now fully able to function with your full power and authority on this earth. So with that, any other questions before I hand the mic over to Rabbi Kefa? Okay, I take it there's no other questions. Okay, Eddie's asking a question. Rabbi, would the purchase of food on Shabbat like a restaurant or while traveling permitted, for example, on rare occasions? Okay, Eddie, that's a very good question. Are we allowed to purchase food? Generally speaking, Eddie, we are not allowed to purchase on a Sabbath, food and other items, shopping, etc. But if it's to do with survival, like, you have no option and you have to eat because you have to live, then yes, you can do so. But having said that, you may have a friend who's traveling with you, and the friend who's traveling with you may actually be able to purchase the food for you. That's not true, Shimoya. That is not true entirely. For reasons of life, it is permitted to do that. So the Sabbath is for man, not the man for the Sabbath. Sabbath is made for living. So therefore, no, it's not considered an emergency. It's considered life is life. So forget what Shimoya said, and I'm going to have to say forget what the Shimoya is saying. Food is allowed to be purchased. I would say that if you have a Gentile friend with you, let the Gentile friend pay for it. In other words, you can pay them and they pay for you, and you can get the food that way. So on a Sabbath, usually people travel with friends or family, and let one of the other members of the family purchase food, because they're not all Sabbath keepers and they're not all, ascribed to Torah. This has often happened with me when I traveled. I had other people with me and let them purchase it. I pay them the money, they purchase it. There's no sin on you for doing that, by the way. That is a way around it. Now, it may be that you don't have a friend with you and you have to eat, then you are permitted to purchase for survival. Now, survival means survival. Survival doesn't mean you're going on a picnic on a Sabbath and you need to purchase food. That wouldn't be considered survival. So please do understand that. that it is in times of where you do know that you need the food to, not kind of be in a state of issue of survival. So I would say that would be a good idea. Okay, now let me see. There was something else. If I, food that can help you with the different chakras. I don't know. That's going to be a big thing. But to give you an idea, for example, the root chakra, the base chakra, a good food for that will help it would be red foods from the planet Earth. Red food, because it's a color, I believe it's the color red, and check for red foods. Cranberries, red apples, radishes. I love radishes. Red radishes. Red potatoes, beets, red beans, lentils. Lentils are red color. You've been taught about lentils from me probably a number of times. Red lentils, watermelon, pomegranate, cherries, they are red berries, foods that are grown on grapes, red grapes, so things that are red. Okay, these are very, very good for your root chakra. Now the sacral chakra would be a good food guide for that one would be or what's called the navel chakra is things like because that needs earth, it's basically part of the earth system. It needs trace minerals, so food that have a high water element. So for example, turmeric is a great food to have for that. Orange, ginger, root, foods that are rooted in the earth, deep orange, spices and teas that will help to soothe, eliminate and balance the hormones. Carrots, peppers, squashes, oranges, tangerines, those kind of fruits are great for it. The next one, the solar plexus, also known as the gut or the solar plexus area, where you have your six-pack, and foods that will bring it balance and help it will be such foods as yogurt, oat bran, cinnamon, lemons, yellow vegetables, healthy fats and oils, celery, cucumber, melons, bananas, aloe vera juice, avocados, fennel and mint. So those kind of foods will help to bring a balance into the sacral, into the solar plexus chakra. The heart chakra, the nice foods for that to help it would be foods like green, water-based alkalizing fruits and vegetables. So there would be limes, green apples. I mean, I don't like zucchinis, but you might like zucchini and celery. And so raw nuts, decreased dairy for that particular one that if that has a problem, and more on the avocados, green bananas, so things that are green, lima beans, mung beans, leafy vegetables. I mean, it could be spinach, could be kale. If you are into kale, it could be kale. I'm not really so much into kale, but I like my spinach. So take your preference, kale or spinach. The throat chakra, the foods for that would be foods that are from the earth with air and water elements. So it will be things like blueberries, clear liquids, herbal teas, and as I told you about the water, the warm water. Alkaline water is great if you can get alkaline water. The third eye chakra, the third eye would be, let me look at the third eye chakra. That would be your intuition, So for the intuition would be water, raw nuts like walnuts, very good for it, sprouted nuts like almonds, metal detoxes from the ground such as harvest grains, mushrooms, purple and red fruits, by the way. Yeah, that's another funny one. How do you find purple fruits? So purple color fruits, goji berries, plums, purple, eggplant. I love eggplants, so you might like them as well. So you may like broccoli, clean meats, beef, lamb, those kind of meats, goat maybe even, if you eat into goat. I'm not so much into goat, but I like the lamb and the beef. Freshwater fish, pineapple and papaya, very good for this one as well, for the balance of the third eye. Now for the crown balance, the crown chakra, that one, the good foods for this will be nice, having salt, good salt content. That would be like Himalayan salt, sea salt. They are very good for this chakra, by the way, and I do consume a lot of those kind of salts myself, have been for many years. So you can use those salts. You can use the sea salt in your bathing. When you go to you have your bath, and you can take your sponge and you can take a little salt from your salt container, put it on your sponge and just rub it on your body, all over your body. Very good cleanser. Cleaning herbs, aloe vera. You can have chia seeds, sesame seeds. You can have broth, bone and vegetable broths. Essential oils, these are all good for the sacral chakra. And a lot of people in the East, what they do is they use the oil to massage into the scalp. Now, I don't know if you want your spouse to do that for you. Maybe they can massage your scalp with mustard oil. If you can find mustard oil, you can buy mustard oil in most Asian stores, and you can get jasmine oil there as well. So you're gonna have to get that oil. Mustard oil is good to massage in your scalp. If somebody can help you do that, or maybe you have to do it yourself, I don't know, whatever of the two works for you. So that will help your crown chakra. So these are the foods that are supportive and beneficial and will build your chakra systems. At least there are some of them. So therefore I would encourage you to do that. I think that that's about, I'm done for the day, and I'll pass it on to Rabbi Kefa. Toda for listening. Have a great day and great Shabbat ahead, and a great week. Toda. Shabbat shalom, shalom, shalom to you.
According for your instruction, and definitely for life. Just been sitting back here as a spectator and just noting the responses that are coming in. If I can be heard, can I get a one? To top of that, Oliver, vive la France. To God, Mishpaha, for your responses, and we'll continue as we continue to learn and grow. And really learn how to live a life. I've been noting the responses that have come in from those that flow through the room time and time again, and will continue to do so, is that you begin to see the level. Not that I'm not here to judge anyone, but I do assess people as a student of nature, and you begin to assess and you see exactly where people are in their livelihood. Some still remain sleeping, as we talked about the zombies and those that are alive and yet are not living, and those that are alive and that are living a life that is a life of abundance. There's a big difference and a big separation, a gap in between those two. And it's unfortunate, but I suspect it's yet true that only a few will really understand what abundance and really live, not understand, but really live an abundance of a life. And I found something quite instructional about what our Cody was talking about when he was talking about the Joneses next door, I hope you all understand this as well as I do, is that you can learn from every atom on this planet. And believe me, all things are made up of atoms. So we can learn from everything. So that means you can learn from the Joneses as well. And, you know, I was one on that religious stick at one time to where I wouldn't even talk to the Joneses because, you know, I was this holy roller. How many of you know what I'm talking about? I was just greater than thou, and I can't talk to these people because I was brainwashed with the you are a sinner mentality. These are sinners. I can't associate with the sinners. I must separate myself from these sinners, and they're going to hell, and blah, blah, blah. But now I fully understand that, you know, the Joneses taught me a lot about really how to live a full and abundant of a life. As they do have that car. You know, and I was in my prayers, you know, you go into your prayer closet and you go in and you put like your closet and you close the door and you're like, well, God, how come the Joneses, if they're so wicked and evil, why do they have that nice car? How come the Joneses are taking those nice trips around the world and yet they're so wicked and evil? And how come, you know what I mean? And how come the Joneses have the nice house and the 2.5 children, including the dog, and they're so happy, yet I'm doing everything, and I'm doing everything Pastor said, but I don't have any of that. You know what I mean? I don't even know where I'm coming from. And so you ask these questions, you're like, my goodness, well, what's really going on? You can learn from the Joneses. The Joneses are tapped in not to religion, but into life itself. They're living life. At what level? I don't know. And I'm not here to assess that. I'm too busy worried about my own life. You know what I mean? Trying to get my life right. But I do see, and being a student of nature, that, my goodness, you know, religion has shackled and hoodwinked and bamboozled me for a very, very long time. And I had been led astray for a very, very long time. And I was just like sheep led to the slaughter for a very, very long time. But thank goodness I'm not on the time scale anymore. I just live present, and accounted for. And so, as you know, I'm in my subconscious, and I continue to want to dwell and live in this place, in the subconscious state. Coming out of unconsciousness and getting into subconsciousness is a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful process that we go through. What you've been exposed to today, just in this lecture alone, will really help you, you know, subdue and fall up into your subconscious mode. That's very important. Because as creatures of the Creator, we must understand one thing, is we must go back to the creation model. As we evolved and as civilizations have come and gone, and as we continue to, I guess what they call improve in this life, is that we find ourselves pulling ourselves away from that very deep setting that we had at the very beginning, which is what? And we're going to look at that in a minute as we jump back into Genesis, because we're going to have to go back to Bereshit to really understand the default setting and where are we supposed to be from the beginning and what was allotted to us from the very beginning, from the beginnings of time, as we go back into creation. Because we don't have to create anymore. Creation was already done, so we must get back to the creation mode and see the modality and see, okay, well, what was done there so that I can understand what I'm supposed to do now, you know? Because man has changed, but God hasn't. Man has evolved, but God hasn't, you see? So I think that's important for us to understand. Timoya, you can stay put, but no more of the comments. Your comments has caused you trouble. It's those that are quiet. You sit, stay put, and listen. Hear, and then understand. But first you must hear. Many folks just want to come with the understanding, thinking they know this, that, the other, and the third, and they're totally off. They're off. You know, they're off in left field, right field somewhere. When you want to find yourself present with today's time, with our law today. Because our law today, the law of the Hebrews today, hasn't changed. So less with the comments, Timoya, that this is why you were red-dotted. And you know what? I'm so grateful that you did stay put. That you just stay and sit and listen for a while. You'll have an opportunity to talk. Believe me, at the beginning of every one of our sessions, we give you the opportunity to speak, and at the end you will get the opportunity to speak. But in the meantime, in between, you know, show some respect and let the teacher teach. You're listening to a son of Aaron, and I tell you what, you need to hang your hat on every word that he says, you see. That's important to understand. That's very, very important to understand. Be a student, and you'll make a great teacher. Be a super student, and you'll make an awesome teacher. Think about that going forward. But many people want to reverse that. Everybody wants to be a teacher. Everybody wants to be a teacher. They know it all. They have all the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, and they can shoot off verses, this, that, the other, and the third, but yet there's no substance to what they say. They give you a verse, they can quote this, that, the other, and the third, but there's no depth to it. There's no meaning behind it, you see. Idle words will get you nowhere, but an idle. And last time I checked, if you put your car in idle, you can't move. And I don't know about you, but I want to move. I don't know about you all in this room, but I want to move. I want to constantly, perpetually be in motion, you see. Because I'm created, I'm made up of atoms and of energy. So I want to be moving. I don't know about you guys. I don't want to be stationary. I've been there, and it's not comfortable. And it's a shell of a life, and I don't like that. I told myself that a long time ago. You know, I don't like this. I don't like this going through the motions. I don't like playing the same old record. I like creativity. I like imagination, because creativity is already created. All we have to do is imagine and bring it in. We have to call it in. We have to attract it to us. Whatever you want, whatever you desire, attract it to you. Bring it in. Very, very important to understand that. Shimoya, Tadaf, where you stay put. Because others, as soon as they're red dotted, guess what they do? Boom, they tell you take off on the heels. They get their underoos in a wad, and then they go off somewhere angry and upset and blah, blah, blah. Appreciate the question. You want to know why you were restricted? Well, that's why. But Tadaf, you stayed put. What are facts at the end of the day? Can anybody tell me what is a fact at the end of the day? A fact is an opinion of a man. Think about it. That's what a fact is. Some man's opinion. Some people can stay and handle the truth as you know it. But when you look at the laws of the universes, that's what we're dealing with here, the laws of the universes. We're trying to go back to the universal laws that man cannot touch. They touch it, but it just does not change. This is what we must get back to. The universal laws. And guess what the default setting for human beings is? Creations of this earth. Guess what your default setting is? Did anybody know? I'll give you a hint. Go back and look at Genesis, you see. Go back and take a good look at Bereshit. And understand what is the default setting for you as a human being. Is it for you to be in a religion? Show me anywhere in Bereshit where in the beginnings, in the book of the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning. Don't try to take me halfway here. Don't try to, the Gospels say this, Rabbi. No, let's go back to the beginnings. Can anybody tell me what your default setting is? What is your default setting? As a human being, what is your default setting? As creations of the Creator of the heavens and the universes, and the galaxies and the Milky Ways. What's your default setting? Anybody tell me? Well, so-and-so told me, no, I don't want to know what so-and-so said. Well, Rabbi, I took this, I donated this money, and then they gave me this little purple cloth, and I touched it, and I got goosebumps, so I know that what he's telling me is factual. No, you're running on emotion. See? I'm not fueled, and I'm not dictated, and I'm not dominated by my emotions. But when we go back and we really examine, as human beings, as having, arteries and veins and a heart and lungs and having blood pumping through your system in this thing that you call a body, which is a beautiful gift that you can give, the gift of life, the gift of animation. But the question is, at the end of the day, what are you doing with it? Are you using it as a bully pulpit to judge and condemn another person because they don't agree with you, because they don't look like you, because their hair is not straight, because their hair is not curly, because they eat this food and you eat that food? My goodness. My relationship with my partner forever, my wife from China, has really humbled me a lot tremendously in a lot of areas of my life. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so joyous, and I'm so thankful for that. I see why the Creator of the heavens and the universe, through the instruction of the Kohen, by the way, directed me to go to the east. Now, that's a physical direction, right? That's a fact. East is a fact. How many of you know that? There's a direction that's called east. That's factual. You cannot deny that. That's not true. That's a fact. East is fact. West is fact. North is fact. South, these are factual things, see? We have to get back to the facts. You start running in these truths, you're running into opinions of men. Think about that for a minute. You run into opinions of men. So here's the question at the end of the day. Which opinion, what man are you following? Law of attraction has some great principles that you live by. It has some great principles under the laws of attraction. And one of those great principles is, who do you listen to? That's very, very important. Who do you listen to? Another great principle that they have is this. Am I willing to accept change? How many of you in this room had to go through some semblance of change as you know of the definition of change? Anybody? Put up a little C if that's you. If you went through some kind of semblance of a change, a drastic, dramatic change in your life that you had to go through. This is important to understand. I mean, we get to the meat and potatoes here. This is very, very important to understand. Because you were brought up to think one way under another C word, conditioned. You were conditioned in your environment. You were conditioned in your nation, in your country. You were conditioned in, with the ethnicity that you were, brought forth into this world in. You were brought up under these conditions. But conditions have to change for you to get back to the original default setting that you're supposed to be in. I titled my lecture this Shabbat, Attention is Essential. And Hakohen was honing on that as well in his lecture, if you paid any amount of attention, if you had the ears to hear. Because just like the Master Yeshua, Master Jesus has said this several times, as he was talking to people and as he was talking to those close to him. His rabbis, his students, his disciples as they're called, his apostles as they're called, whatever name you want to give them. But the 12, those that were close to him. He said some people see but they don't see. Some people are here but they don't hear. We'll talk about that today as well. But attention is essential. What are you saying, Rabbi? I need to be attentive? Oh, that's good as well too. You saying, Rabbi, I need to be sensitive? Yes, I'm saying that as well. Attention is essential, but a lot of times our attention is misplaced. You know what I mean by misplaced? It's because we put our attention on outside forces, and we're not attentive and attention and omnipresent with ourselves, which is very important. Most of the time, as we journey through this wonderful, 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 wonderful opportunity and this gift called life here on this earth, to be able to walk this earth, you understand, is a beautiful gift. I've been humbled in this area as well, as I've seen people who cannot walk, who cannot breathe on their own. Hakohen tells you, and you do this in your meditations, you begin your meditations by what? Taking deep breaths. Some people can't even take the deep breaths for themselves, you see? They can't even breathe on their own. There's a machine that's breathing for them, that takes their breaths. Can you believe that? Truly humbling. Nursing is a beautiful profession. If you want to provide service, truly service, an epitome of service is being a nurse, in my opinion. And I guess I'm being biased because I am a nurse. But I tell you, servitude, selflessness, will really teach you about humility, will really humble you. How many of you want another dose of humble pie? Serve someone else outside of yourself, outside of you, and then you'll be serviced many times over. Joke of the day comes from my wife, and it's more like a story. I'm going to tell it to you. Joke of the day. Beautiful, beautiful joke. My wife gives me this for last night, and I'm laughing so hard I'm breaking ribs. Not literally. There's this man. This man is a widow. His wife passed. And you know, this man, he's getting on with life. And he talks to his friend. And he talks to his friend and says, yeah, man, you know, I'm trying to get on with life. And my wife has passed. It's been many years that my wife has passed. And, you know, I'm starting to feel lonely. You know, older people, they do this. They start to feel lonely. You know, they get the, you lose your other half and you get lonely. And he's like, you know, I think it's time for me to get out there and start dating. And so his friend said, yeah, you know, you go on these websites and you just, bada boom, bada bing, you fill out this, you know, your demographics, you put all of your demographics in, and, you know, what you like, what you don't like. And then, the computer, the system will match you up with those that, you know, are like you. This man is in his 60s. Those that are attracted to you. Those that are of your likeness. So the man takes his friend's advice. He goes home and he gets on his computer and he does all that stuff. He fills all this information out and, you know, likes, dislikes, blah, 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 on the dating site. And 2 weeks later, you know, no responses. So he meets up with his other friend during lunchtime. They have lunch together. And his friend says, hey, well, how's the dating going? You went out on any dates? His friend says, well, you know what? I filled out everything just like you told me to, but I'm not getting any hits. Then his friend said, really? You're not getting any hits? He said, well, you fill out everything just like he told you? He said, yeah, I fill out everything just like he told me. You know, I put my age and all this information, blah, blah, blah. So then the friend's wife was with him out on the lunch. The friend's wife says, yeah, I know your problem. She said, when you go home, I want you to change your demographics. Instead of putting that you're 60, you need to put on your demographics that you're 80 years old. So the man said, what? So the man said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, no problem. So the man went home. He made the changes on his laptop, on his dating site. And sure as shooting, my goodness, as soon as he changed his age from 60 to 80 years old, this man was getting all kind of hits. All kind of hits. And he went back to his friend. His friend's wife was like, he said, yeah, now I'm getting all kind of hits. It's like women are coming out of the woodworks wanting to date me, wanting my information, wanting to chat, and wanting to take it to the next level. Now, tell me, what do you get out of this scenario, this story? What do you glean from this? Now, there's several things that you can glean from it off of the top. Right off the top, you're probably thinking, oh, my goodness. There may be some truth. There may be some fact to the point that younger women prefer older men as they note this age thing. See, there's a thing to this. Now, I don't know what your take is on this, but you can take several takes from this. And several ways you can go with this, depending on where your mindset is, depending on how you understand this particular little story that I just gave out. What are your thought processes on this? I'd just like some of your responses. What do you glean to why this man, when he put his demographics in at 60, was getting no hits, but when he put his demographics in at 80, my goodness, all kind of women want to talk to him. What are you thinking of? What are your thought processes as students of nature? What do you think about this whole process? What do you think he caps on this morning, or this evening, or this night, depending on where you are in the world? What do you think about this? Any thoughts? Are you still thinking? Like, well, Rabbi, I'm still thinking about this. Looking for his retirement benefits or appreciate his wisdom. Yeah, ladies, I was thinking that younger women want a man with benefits. That's one thing. Then I was thinking as well that maybe younger women want a mature man. A man in his 80s is definitely mature. Maybe they see a man in his 60s and not quite mature. And then I was thinking, my goodness, these younger women want a young man that's going to kill over and then they're going to collect a lot of inheritance. That's another thing that I was thinking. Because these are all things that you can be thinking about as you go through. Why this man in his 80s, and this is a running joke in the Chinese culture. And I was explaining to my wife about the gold digger mentality here, as we call it here in the West. They say, oh, it's just gold diggers. So they want to get with these older men. But that may not be the case. Truly, a younger woman may find love in what they consider an older man. I would consider him a mature man in his 80s. So, yeah, that's something to think about, right? Now, I also would like to celebrate, truly I want to celebrate this woman. And I think Hakohin had mentioned her a while back. But this woman, Kane Tanaka. How many of you know this woman, Kane Tanaka? Can anybody tell me about Kane Tanaka? The Japanese woman. I want to celebrate this woman. Anybody know about her? Kane Tanaka. I know somebody saying, well, wait a minute, Rabbi, give me a minute. I'm going to Google this Kane Tanaka. Can anybody know why would I want to celebrate this woman? This Japanese woman? Beautiful woman? Anybody tell me? Anybody have a clue? Anybody know anything about Kane Tanaka? Okay, I'll send it to you. There you go. Look at that link right there I sent to you. Well, let me tell you, those of you who are listening via YouTube, via MP3, about Kane Tanaka and why we want to celebrate her. This is facts on the ground, Guinness Book of World Record facts, is now currently the oldest person alive at 116 years old. Hallelujah. You want to talk about life, Mishpah? This woman has had a life and is having a life and is enjoying her life at 116 years old. What do y'all think about that? I see there's no responses. Yeah, I guess you all are kind of reading up on Kane Tanaka. Beautiful story about this woman. Beautiful story. Well, let me tell you a little bit about her real quick. And I like to read about stories like this because this is instructional as students of nature. As we want to look at some of the mysteries or the magic or the secrets behind these people that have such a long life. How many of you think that you are responsible for your life? You see, and the reason why I say that is because religion will tell you your life is God's hand. But how many of you believe that you are responsible for your own life? Anybody? And I'll give you time to think about this question. You're like, well, Rabbi, you asked a lot of questions there. Yeah, because I want to engage with you. I want to engage with you. I want interaction, and I think this is important. You're not just here to sit like robots, on your sofa, your nice comfortable sofas, and just take it all in. Remember, you're transmitters and you're receivers. See, I want to open up both sides to you, both sides of your terminal. You're a transmitter and you're a receiver. To top of your responses, by the way. You say, yeah, I'm responsible for my life. But religion, the conditioning will tell you, oh no, you have no responsibility for your life. It's God that's responsible. God knows when you're born and when you're died, but what does it have to do with me having responsibility for my life? And for those of you who are listening via MP3 on YouTube, 4 people said they are responsible for their life. To God for your response. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5. To God for your responses, by the way. See, I'm going to hold you to it. See, I'm going to state the facts. I'm going to give you facts. I'm going to give you numbers. And let's look at Tanaka, because I think this is a beautiful story. I'm going to just read you some excerpts about what was said about her. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. It says here, despite having several operations, including one for cataracts and another for colorectal cancer. What? How come we just talking about that? For colorectal cancer, Cain now lives a peaceful life at a nursing home in Usuka. It says that in that article that she lives a peaceful life. Hakohi mentioned this in his lecture. One of the key things to having an abundance of a life, having a life that is an infinite abundance, is what? You're going to have peace. Peace is key. Learn from the students of nature. You're going to have to be in a state of peace. Attention is essential. Pay attention. You're going to have to live in a state of peace. Peace is a mindset. It's a way of living. It's being. Peace is present. You can't have peace in the past, and you cannot have peace in the future. Peace has to be now. Mr. All of you like to say, "Oh, shalom, Rabbi. Shalom, shalom, shalom." But how many of you are living in this peace like we talked about our lady, Miss Tanaka, 116 years young. Baruch Hashem. Age is just a number, Miss Bahar. So when the man went in, I told you about the joke earlier, when he went in to change his age from 60 to 80 and got more hits, my goodness, I say more power to him, because age is just a number at the end of the day. How many of you understand that? So many of you are hoodwinked and bamboozled by your age. Oh, Rabbi, I'm too old. Who said you're too old? You said you're too old. So guess what? You're going to be old. The Master Yeshua talked about this as well. We're going to get into that in a minute. Attention is essential. Moses is getting instruction from the Master Yahweh about how the instruction of the temple is going to be run by the priesthood and passing it on to Aaron and his sons. Attention is essential. That's what I'm getting from this Parsha, is attention is essential. You must pay attention. You must be present. Moses, Aaron, and his sons couldn't have been out there in left field. Well, you're speaking to me, but I got this problem at home. Yeah, 2 wolves ate some of my sheep the other night, and so I'm dealing with that. I don't have time to focus on how to run the temple runnings right now, or how things are going to be done, because my mind is somewhere else. Oh, I just remember that past relationship. I just broke up with my wife in the north, and she's not happy, and I'm sad about that. You must be, attention is essential. Hakohi will tell you. His forefathers mess up in the temple, and they could literally lose their life. Come on, let's face it. It's in our history, Ms. Bahar. I don't have to tell you that. It's there. It's there in the face of the black and white print. Attention is essential. So let's go back and look at Miss Tanaka. She lives a peaceful life. At 116, she's not worried and complaining, oh, how am I going to pay this bill? Oh, this part of this organ is shut down on me, so I don't know how much longer I got. But nope, she's present in peace. Wow, beautiful. Isn't that beautiful, Miss Bob? That's what the article says about her. Let's continue to read a little bit what the article says about her as well. I celebrate this woman. I am so happy. I wish I could shake this woman's hand. Hug this woman. Wow, what a life, right? What a life that she's living. An abundance of a life. How many of you in this room right now believe that health is wealth? That came from me from the Immortal Mother this morning, by the way. Mother Wisdom. Health is wealth. Listen to what I just said there. Think about what I just said there. That came this morning, hot off the press. Health is wealth. Say it again for those who didn't hear. who don't have ears to understand. You don't have to understand this. Too many folks are too busy trying to understand. So, Rabbi, I don't understand. Just be present and listen. Health is wealth. Wow. Miss Tanaka will tell you, health is wealth. She'll tell you this. With that health, wealth, and it's, my goodness, it's not ironic that the words are quite similar in spelling, right? Health and wealth. That they wouldn't have a fine union together. They wouldn't meet up. Remember, you are a transmitter and a receiver of energy. Remember that. Learn from Miss Tanaka. Let's talk about her life. Now, remember the teachings that you've been getting from the son of Aaron. Remember the teachings as I read this. She normally wakes up at 6 a.m. Wow, I'm going to stop right there. Miss Tanaka, 116 years young, wakes up at 6 a.m. normally. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. What does the son of Aaron tell you? Get your butts up in the morning. I'm paraphrasing. Get the gluteus maximus out of the bed in the morning. I'm going medical on you. Get up early. Miss Tanaka, 116 years young, gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning. What's your excuse? Oh, Rabbi, oh this, oh that, this. Attention is essential, along with your essential oils. Miss Tanaka gets up at 6 a.m. Let's read. I'm going to tell you what. I tell you, my energy and her energy are really connected. Listen to what else she does. In the afternoon, often studies subjects as math. And in the afternoon, often studies subjects such as math. One of Kane's favorite pastimes is a game called Othello. And she's become an expert at the classic board game. So she's playing board games. And she's doing math. Wow. What a great woman. Often beating the rest home staff, who are probably much younger than she is, right? How many of you played this board game called Othello? I haven't played this board game as of yet. And as she likes to do, she often studies subjects such as math, numbers, mishpahah, numbers. Learn from Miss Tanaka. Learn from her. Too busy studying other people's business. Study numbers. I'm a student of numbers. I like numbers. I love numbers. I like big numbers. How many of you like big numbers? I love big numbers. Okay, enough big numbers. Do the math. 1 + 1 = 2. Why are we told one of the allotted things, and I'm putting the cart before the horse here, but the Bereshit, Genesis tells us that multiplying is an allotment that's already been given to us. You're multipliers. That last time I checked, that's dealing with numbers. And seeing numbers grow, not numbers decline. Listen, let's go on with the article with Mr. Tanaka. It goes further on to say this. During the presentation ceremony, because Guinness Book of World Records gave us this awesome trophy. For those of you who ever click on the link, you'll see it. They gave us this awesome plaque. Guinness Book of World Records, oldest person alive, 116 years old. Miss Kane was given a box of chocolates, which she immediately opened and started eating. Oh, that's a woman after my own heart. Later, she was asked how many chocolates she wants to eat today. She replied, 100. Oh, my goodness. Miss Tanaka, you had me at hello. She likes to eat chocolates. Just like Forrest Gump say, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's what Forrest Gump says. But Miss Tanaka is a chocolate lover. Oh, my goodness, we get along just fine in my Willy Wonka chocolate factory. This woman is living an abundance of a life and is truly wealthy. at 116 years young. Learn from this woman. Age is just but a number. This woman is still crunching numbers with her math, playing board games, likes to eat chocolate, and as we read in this article, is living a what? A peaceful life. This is how one of the greatest keys to longevity is to have peace about it. Why do you think we say shalom? Just because it's a word? Shalom? No, shalom is deeper than that. Shalom is the very essence of the I am. Think about what I just said. Shalom is the very essence of the I am. Your I am, your inner man should be what? It should be peace. Not war, not disaster, not destruction, not depression, but peace. Attention is essential. Peace. Some of you are seeking that in your aspirations. You can have peace now. Don't wait for peace in the future. Peace is now. Peace is present. Well, Rabbi, I had peace back in the past before I got married. Stop it. Because you are what you say you are. If you don't have it, you won't have it. If you have it, you have it. See, you got to put everything in the present. I like what Kohen taught today in his instruction. You see, as your mind takes you back to the past, yes, embrace that, take it, bring it present, and then rewrite the script. Do you see all those hurts, all that pain, all that depression in the past or in the future? You've got so much anxiety about what the future is going to bring. Bring it present and then write the script for the future. Just like our Queen talked about you how to deal with it with the past, you can also take it as your mind will take you in the future and want you to dwell in the future and bring it to the present. And then rewrite the script. Rewrite it. Make it a script of peace. Make it a script of joy. Make it a script of love. Wow. These are default settings. These are pre-garden, pre-fall settings before we kicked out the garden. It's so important to understand this, Mr. Hart. It's so important not to really understand it, because then you put yourself in a rabbit hole. And everybody uses understanding as an excuse. I'm still trying to understand. Oh, I'm understanding. My goodness. When are you just going to be present and just do? Be present and just do. Then when they quit understanding, then they start overstanding. Oh, I'm overstanding. Oh, I'm overstanding. I'm like, my goodness, quit overstanding, quit understanding. And then just begin to do, begin to apply. Attention is essential. So this is Miss Tanaka. I want to introduce you to Miss Tanaka, Miss Kane Tanaka. I want to introduce you to her, and I want you all to celebrate life. The life that she's living now, and learn from her. You sit down with Miss Tanaka today, I bet she can teach you many things. Just like you can learn from the Joneses. Just like you can learn from your pets. Just like you can learn from the animals. Just like you can learn from the flowers. Just like you can learn from your wife. Just like you can learn from your husband. Just like you can learn from your friends. Just like you can learn from your boss. Just like you can learn from your parents. Just like you can learn from your siblings. Sometimes we all must take another heavy dose, a heavy piece of the pie, of the humble pie. Let's take a big portion out and eat it. To really bring you back to attention, to really bring you back to present. This is where you need to be. Present. Religion will keep you in the past. You see, sometimes, and I wrote this down, let me read it. I wrote it down for Rabbi. Let me read this here. before I read this one thing, I want to read this one here. Cody was talking about how you need to deal, how to deal with the past, because you might be saying, yeah, the past keeps coming up, or the future, it just keeps coming up, and it's occupying me. Talking about the occupiers, you don't want to be occupied by the past, you don't want to be occupied by the future. Listen to this statement. You cannot find yourself by going into the past. You find yourself by coming into the present. You cannot find yourself by going into the past. You're not going to find yourself there. You find yourself by coming into the present. That's good stuff, isn't it? By coming into the present. This is when you find yourself. All of you right now are trying to find yourself. That I am within you. You're finding it. You found it. Now the I am is waking up. You see? The I am is now waking up and realizing life on a level to where the I am is being nurtured inside of you. And believe me, you didn't have to go to the past to find the I am. You didn't have to go to the present, to the future to find the I am. You found the I am present. Being attentive. Being in the now. Monique was saying, we usually underestimate our health. My hubs went to a surgery, and the question they asked before the procedure is, do you take any medications? None. For my hubs, the medical team was very surprised because, said a nurse, usually patient has 1 or 2 pages of medications. Yeah, that's another rabbit hole that they put me down once they start doing all this medication. And so grateful for the instruction given to me by the Cody to look to the east. And that just not only in a direction, but look to the Eastern mindset, Eastern understanding, Eastern way of doing things, because they don't like to run to the look for the what you would call, modern medicine. Because I'll tell you about, you see, doctors are only giving out what they've been taught, and they've been taught from a mindset not of traditional medicine, but of modern medicine, you see? So at the end of the day, don't sit here and rub the doctor under the bus, because the doctor's only been trained to teach you in a certain way. A doctor's been trained to give you medicine. Western doctors have just been trained to look at the diagnosis, to look at the problem and treat that problem. Just the problem. They don't get to the source. They just treat the problem that you have. You see what I'm saying? And before you know it, then because they didn't get to the source of the problem, then you have several new problems, or what they call diagnoses, behind the one problem that you originally had, that they considered a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So that begins to bring you down the rabbit hole, down that slippery slope. And I want to talk about something for a minute. You see, because when you live and you habitate in the past, or you habitate in the future, it's endless. This is why it's so crucial that you come out of the state of being. The sooner you find your I am capability and capacity within you, the better. Because Christianity, Catholicism, they get you with this fear factor called the bottomless pit. How many know about the bottomless pit? Anybody tell me what is the bottomless pit to you? What is the bottomless pit? And I'll tell you this. What is the idea says hell? What is the bottomless pit to you? Your opinion. And there's again, these are just opinions. So these are, your opinion cannot be wrong because they're just opinions. It's just opinions. So they're your opinion. So you own your opinion. Idea says hell. Stop with your response. By the way, anybody else have an opinion on the bottomless pit? What does that mean to you when I say bottomless pit? Any takers? While I wait on your responses, I'll tell you this. The Master Yeshua he mentioned pit twice in the Gospel. And each time the pit wasn't bottomless, and each time you were pulling an animal out of the pit so you can get out of it. The Master was trying to say, don't stay in it, but pull the animal out. You're not going to leave a donkey in the pit on the Shabbat, right? You're going to take him and you're going to pull him out, right? A Brahmin says trapped in a state of loneliness. A Lion Princess says depression. But bottomless pit. When I ask you what's your definition of the bottomless pit, what would that be? And to God be responsible. But I'm going to hone in, just like we talked about the source, I want to get to the source. Do you know what the bottomless pit really is? Yeah, you're right, Atar. The bottomless pit has no end. So think about this. When people stay in the past, that is your bottomless pit. It's not some hairy-fairy fire and brimstone mumbo-jumbo that the religions want to, condition you to understand. Literally the bottomless pit is you staying in the past or staying in the future. Because guess what? It has no end. You can stay in the past and you can just stay there and you can just stay there and it has no end to the past. Your past has no end. And you can just stay there and you can just, this is why you got to come out of that mode and get in the present. Because outside of present is just bottomless pit. Think about it. It's not this doom and gloom, pit burning and gnashing of teeth. The Master Yeshua mentioned pit twice. And both times he was dealing with getting an animal out of a pit. So the Master telling you, you don't stay in the pit. You have to pull yourself out. Pull the animal out. Animal's valuable just like life is valuable. Thank you for your analogy, Hakoim, and your understanding on the Shabbat. This one person, I don't think she's here anymore, but had an issue with the Shabbat or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't do this on the Shabbat. Get out of the pit. The Master Yeshua said, if you have an animal in a pit on the Shabbat, take him out. The Master Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, never mentioned an endless pit. Because why? It's not for us to dwell there. He definitely didn't. He was a man of the present, a man of the now. Omnipresent. Why are you going to be in the pit when you're present? You shouldn't. But we make these bottomless pits. How do we do that? Is that we stay in the past. Attention is essential. If you're not in the present attention, then you're in a bottomless pit that has no end. Your past will have no end. Some of you have been dealing with your past and it still hasn't ended. You say, Rabbi, I got to fix this. Because you stand in the past, it's a bottomless pit. You're going to always stay in. You're never going to... Well, I'm still trying to understand, this is happening. Again, it's a bottomless pit. And you're going to stay there, and you're going to stay there. And Hakoim talked about the student over there in the east. He's still in that bottomless pit. Hadn't moved from it yet. Think about it. Because he don't want to get present. He don't want to dwell and live in a state of now. Miss Tanaka lives in a state of now, baby. She's not worried about what's going to happen to her next week. She's not worried about what happened to her these past 116 years. She's now. She's eating chocolate now. She's playing board games now. She has peace now. She's doing math problems now. She's present. What a great lesson. I celebrate the life, the living life of Miss Tanaka. Learn from her. You understand where we're going here, Mishpah? You understand where we're at? You have to be now. Now. You see, the bottomless pit is where the past and the future is. That is the bottomless pit. Think about that when you want to go over there and start to venture in those areas. You say, well, think about that. You say, well, Rabbi Kefa, he gave an analogy of that being the bottomless pit. I want to stay away from there. It has no end to it. You can't repair what has no end to it. You can't repair it. So get out of it. And get into infinity. Infinity, present is infinity and beyond. Listen to this statement. This may be one you want to take with you and say this throughout the day. Just be and enjoy being. Wow. That's heavy, isn't it? Just be and enjoy being. Just be and enjoy being. You got it, Miss Bob? How many of you wrote it down? Just be and enjoy being. That's Miss Tanasa in a nutshell, if I summarize her. As I celebrate her wonderful life. Just be, Mishpah, and enjoy being. You see, when you take that statement and you begin to apply, you don't have to understand it. Quit trying to understand it. See, because understanding will take you in the past or in the future. Well, I'm still trying to understand it. I'm still trying to. No, just make it present. Just be and enjoy being. Isn't that beautiful, Miss Bob? How beautiful is that? How beautiful is those words? Or how beautiful are those words? How beautiful. Tell that to the person that's stressed out next to you. Hey, just be and enjoy being. Just be. Be yourself. Just be. Be that I am. And enjoy being. That's the I am mode. And enjoy being in your I am mode. Enjoy being in the subconscious mode. When your brain wants to tell you that you got a bill to pay, when your brain wants to tell you you don't have no money, just be and enjoy being. And remember to go back to the default setting. And we're going to talk about that in Bereshit, chapter 1. Default setting. Animals are doing it. They're still keeping that default setting intact, in play. How come human beings don't? Why we stray away as human beings? Your default setting as a human being. My goodness. Just be and enjoy being, Mishpah. Throw religion in the trash bin. Rewrite religion. This is a way that you rewrite religion, because religion will try to, pop up his ugly head. And so what do you have to do? You have to acknowledge that religion has popped up. You see, when you're present, you see all of these things. You sit here and watch all of this stuff being played out within you. Your mind, your inner, your subconscious. You see, because unconsciousness wants to try to creep back in. So you have to deal with it when it does, right? And this is one of the ways that you can do that. You say, just be and enjoy being. Just be and enjoy being. Beautiful, isn't it? You can take these things and literally begin to apply them. But the more you try to continue to understand things, the less you're going to get accomplished. You see? Just be and enjoy being. Mishpah. It's just that simple. Yet we make it so complicated. We make it so difficult for ourselves. I think this is a fine time for us to jump into default setting mode. We have to remind ourselves this, remember this. Here's another thing that came to me this morning from Mother Wisdom. Thank you, Mother Wisdom. Thank you, universe. truly helping me see and understand, and continue to see and understand today, now, and continue to see and understand now, and continue to see it now. Health is wealth, right? But also, well, I guess we better go to Bereshit first. Let's go to Bereshit. Take you back to Bereshit. Let's go back to the beginnings. Because the beginnings is where it ends. This is the beginnings. This is why when I called you talked to he was asking the question, what's the superior books? What? You go back to the beginning, because the beginning is the end. The beginning is the beginning, the beginning is the beginning, the beginning is the end. And the beginning is the beginning, and the beginning is the beginning. Because there is no end when you get to the beginning. Think about that. Look at Genesis, Bereshit. Paul said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, and Elohim powers created Ha'adam in their own image, and in the image of Elohim's powers created male and female, created them. Look at verse 28. I want you to clue in on this, and I want you to always go back and refer to this when you get kind of confused, or you get kind of skeptical about where things stand, or where you stand in the whole place of civilization in the world, and blah 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 blah, and where you stand in the universes and your purpose and life and blah 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 and all this. Go back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. And Elohim's powers allotted an increase upon them. See, this is allotted. It's allotted. It's like boom. The laws of the universe here. It's not laws of man here. These are the laws of the universes. From the creator of the heavens and the universes and the Milky Ways and the galaxies and these far out black holes and all this other stuff that we just can't even fathom and imagine. Elohim powers allotted an increase upon them. Elohim powers said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the air and over everything that moves on the earth. Wow! It's allotted to you. It's allotted to you this day to multiply. That's allotted to you. It's allotted to you this day to be fruitful. It's allotted to you this day to subdue. It's allotted to you, Mishpah. It's allotted to you. Many people don't understand. It's already, do you know, the Master Yeshua, the Master Jesus of Nazareth, he never mentioned in the Gospels, he never mentioned multiply. He never mentioned that. Go figure. He never mentioned multiply. Why? Because multiply is present. He's already allotted. He is multiplied. He is multiplicity. So are you. Again, you tell yourself, I lack in this area, and I lack in that, and this. It's allotted for you to do what? Attention is essential. For you to subdue, for you to have dominion, for you to be fruitful, for you to multiply. See, this is what the Joneses understood that you didn't. You see, the Joneses got it. Oh yeah. I've been put on this earth to multiply, to have dominion over. And guess what? I'm going to go out here and take my dominion. That's my desire. Take what is rightfully mine. Default settings, Mishpah. You roll with religion. Religion will have you all over the place. With that bunch of mumbo jumbo and their schemes and their scams. We must go back to the default setting. Pay attention. Attention is essential. Be present. You have dominion now. You are multiplication now. Everything you touches multiplies. Everything you touch multiplies now. I am fruitful now. What you say is what you manifest, what you bring in. Remember, you're a transmitter and you're a receiver. As these great human beings that you are, marvelous human beings, supercomputers that you are, super duper computers. Because you have the DNA of the source of all things. And that source has allotted for you and I. Look at this allotment. Animals were given allotment as well. I think it's verse 22. If you go read verse 22 of Bereshit, the animals were given allotment as well to be fruitful, multiply the earth. And believe me, last time I checked into it, I'm looking outside right now, there's squirrels out here trying to, they're courting out here right now, trying to make another squirrel. That's what they were allotted. They looking at me and say, well, Rabbi, that's what I was allotted to do. So I'm just doing what I was allotted to do. Well, how come we can't remember our default settings? And we need to get back to those default settings. You must be paying attention. Human beings have forgotten who they are. Really? You've forgotten who you really are. What has substituted that? Religion. What has substituted that? What Mama said? What Grandmama said? What has substituted that? Google said I'm this. No, but what does God say? No, Google says that I'm this. I Googled it and it said I'm this, and so this is what I'm going to be. No, but what does God say? You see? You must remember who you are. Attention. Now, not many people are going to get this. Now, I love numbers, but I can give a flying fruit who's only me and Hakohim in this room right now. It wouldn't matter to me. Right now, there's 21 people in the room. There's only going to be a few people that want this and really get it. We're going to read the Master Yeshua tells us this as well. These mysteries, this magic. Many people are not going to get the magic. They're too busy running after the medicine. Forget the magic. They want a pill to fix them. They don't want to fix themselves. The I am mode, you can fix yourself because you were put here to subdue, not to be subdued. Yet most humans today are being subdued. And they don't realize they were put here to subdue, to dominate. Mishpah. Think about this for a minute. You were put here to be fruitful. Yet you said, oh, there's no fruits. The fruit is my labor, and I'm laboring a lot, Rabbi. You see, I go ahead and say, they want religion. They want religion. You have a system to call abundance in your life. Yeah, indeed. Yet the Joneses understand, and you condemning them for hell, telling them that they're going to hell because they're wicked and they're evil and they're full of the devil. They understand. Understand abundance, who they are as human beings. You're too busy on the human side that you forgot the being side of you. Remember that statement I gave you? How many of you remember that statement? How many of you wrote it down? Just be and enjoy being. Enjoy your being side, that I am side of you. That's what that statement means. Not to stay on the human side. The human side will tell you what you can't do. The human side will always tell you about your deficiencies, how deficient you are, and you can't do that. You can't do this, and you can't get ahead. You can't. You will always be the tail. You'll never be the head. Because Mama said. Because Pastor said. And you have to suffer. And you have to suffer. You cannot be successful. You see? But you don't see. That's what the Master Yeshua said. They see, but they don't see. They have ears to hear, but they don't hear. What you're learning here from the Kohen, the son of Aaron, many people are just not going to understand you. They're just not. So don't waste your time with these people. Don't waste your energy. I won't say time because we don't waste time. I don't live on a time frame. Do not waste your precious energy on these people. You just let them be neutral, allow them to live their semblance of a life. And if they're happy living that kind of life, then you just have to be happy for them. But you must continue to run after the mark. Your desire to have what's allotted to you. If, my goodness, what's that Publishers Clearinghouse mumbo jumbo you see on TV? You know how they go and they knock on the door and they have to lose in this big old check. Oh, you're going to get $7,000 a week for the rest of your life. How many of you seen that? I know I'm sure you've seen that commercial. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's on TV. You can't miss that commercial. Publishers Clear House. People have been playing that for years. Years and years. And I always notice when they go to the people, it's always old people that's winning it. You ever notice that? It's always mature people, I would say. I never see like a young couple winning it. It's always, you open the door and this old man, this old woman comes out. What I'm trying to explain to you is exactly the same way. Except your default setting is knocking on your door. It's knocking on your inner man, your I am. And it's knocking and saying, hey, I got this big award for you. But you're not opening the door. That's what it's like. And you're like, oh man, I can't open that door. It's probably, that's that bill collector. I don't answer the door. How many of you see TV shows like that? Where people say, don't answer the door. We owe this bill. They're going to come and foreclose on the house. They're trying to service us. They're trying to service to go on a court date. Don't answer the door. Whatever you don't answer the door, we're not home. Blah blah blah. Well, you explain this away the same way. Your allotment is waiting. It's knocking on your door, and you're not answering. You're saying, I don't want that. It's just another bill collector. You reject. So many human beings are rejecting it. And they choose to stay in the confines of their four walls of their house, and they say, well, I'm just going to accept that I'm not going to be nothing. I'm going to accept the fact that I'm never going to have any money. I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to have that perfect relationship. I'm not going to have wealth and with my health. I'm not going to have that. I have to suffer, and God will reward me for all of this suffering that I'm going through. That's a bunch of malarkey. That's not true, Mishpachah. You're bigger and you're better than that. You've been given an allotment to do what? To subdue. You've been given an allotment to do what? To have dominion. You've been given an allotment to do what? To multiply. That's allotted to you. The Master Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, trying to explain this to folks, but he was knocking on the door, but nobody was answering. They would close the door. They wouldn't even know. They actually put some more, bolt locks on there. Oh, we're not going to open this. No way. No how. Some folks are just comfortable with where they are. And to them I say, just be and enjoy being. If that's what you want to be, then enjoy being that. You know what? That statement is so neutral, right? And you can tell it to anyone, anybody. Oh, you want to be angry? Hey, just be angry and enjoy being angry. If that's what makes you happy. You want to be poor? Then just be poor and enjoy being poor. When you say that statement, maybe that'll unlock the key to some of these people's doors. They'll realize, wow, is that truly my state of being? The president, once a year he gives a State of the Union here in America. You need to give a state of self, state of yourself. That's what you need to do, and do an inventory of the state of yourself. Get into the subconscious side of things and realize who you really are. You're a subduer. You're a what? A dominator. You're a fruitful person. You are a what? A person of what? Of multiplicity. That's who you are. That's default setting for everyone. That's default setting for everyone in this world. The Joneses get it. The Joneses have it. And why don't you? It's because you're still closing the door. Shoot, the Joneses, they knock on the door. They'll gladly accept the check. Oh, come on in, my friend. Welcome in. Oh, thank you for the money, honey. We'll take it. While you're still over here chasing and running after religiosity 101. Still trying to understand. Still hanging on to the past or the future. And don't find yourself present. Let that not be you. Be present with peace, just like Miss Tanaka. My goodness. Living a peaceful life. Wow. That article was spot on when they talked about peace. See, many people, they say peace, but they don't live it. Don't live it. Not one jot or one tittle of peace. Maybe they live a life of procrastination. Maybe they live a life of pity. God forbid that's you. Don't live in that type of environment. You can't grow anything. You can't multiply anything. You definitely can't grow any fruit when you're pouring water of pity. But when you're pouring water of peace and water of love, and water of joy, my goodness. What's allotted to you is just going to keep flowing. And it's just like how Cody says in the affirmation, it's just going to be like drinking water daily. That's just how it's going to do. It's going to just come so natural to you. Just like how Cody talked about, he learning his timetables. It's just going to come to you. Just like knowing your time. It's just total recall. We must understand this, Mr. Hall. Just be and just enjoy being. You see? So if you want to learn and want to multiply, which is your default setting, right? You must learn to amplify. Wow. If you want to multiply, we talked about multiplicity, that's allotted to you. That's an allotment. How many of you have the allotment of multiplicity right now? You have the allotment now. How many of you? Don't go to sleep on me. I know you're trying to get that early Shabbat nap. Don't go to sleep on me. Get a little water there, a little tea there also. I tell you, you look to the east and you start drinking a lot more teas. My wife, oh my goodness, teas come to me in abundance. I have abundance of tea. Awesome. I tell you. I do. The instruction to go to the east, I tell you that I tell you what. I'm indebted to you forever. Just on that alone. But so it's very, very important that we do understand. We understand and we try to understand, but we don't use understanding as a crutch. Because sometimes we can get analysis paralysis as they do with they just analyze to where you're paralyzed. You can understand to where you don't understand. You know what I mean? And then you find yourself in the bottomless pit. Because you can't get out. You just don't get out. You can't move. You're paralyzed. Your life is just like it's put on hold. You want to always be flowing. Remember we talked about this earlier. You want to always be in constant motion. Constant motion. That's part of your default setting. Fruitful. Multiply. Not subtract. Somewhere in your allotment is a mention subtraction. Why do we subtract from our lives? Don't do that. Because we run in fear. We lack faith because we don't want to do anything. That's bringing us closer to our I am. No, you want to be fruitful. All these F words. Fruitful. Faith. Fear. Assess yourself and see where you align. I mean, the universe is knocking on the door right now, but you're not answering. The universe is to infinite abundance, but you must go back to the default settings. You see, in order to multiply, you must amplify. What are you amplifying? Remember, we talked about it. How many of you realize that you are transmitters and receivers? How do you up the ante? How do you amplify? Think about this now. How do you increase your amplification? Akoni gave you a great tool today with your chakras. He gave us a great tool. Another great tool to add to the arsenal. You can't sit here trying to understand those things. You must do them now. You must be present and just do them. Oh, well, I'm still researching and understanding that. My goodness. You'll never get ahead. Listen to this statement. You have to put down for a moment your personal baggage of problems of past and future, as well as all your knowledge. Otherwise, you will see but not see, hear but not hear. Your total presence is required. Remember we talked about finding yourself? Finding yourself is finding the I am within you. That's how you find yourself. And that brings us to what the Master Yeshua was talking about. We're going to open it up in Matthew chapter 13. He's talking about this as he's giving parables on the boat by the seashore. He was on the boat. Everybody around him. Imagine that scene. What a beautiful scene that would have been. He's on a boat out in the sea, and he's talking to thousands of people. And he's teaching them things. And his disciples are there. His 12. His apostles, however you want to call them. Those 12 that are close to him. Amongst all the other people that came to hear the words of the Master Yeshua. Just like many folks come through here, hear the words of the Kohen. They come through here. The son of Aaron. Hear his words. Then he come through here. Well, let's read this. The Master, he begins to, talk about a parable. We'll pick it up at Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. And the disciples came and said to him meaning the Master Yeshua, the Master Jesus of Nazareth, why do you speak in parables? Verse 11. He answered and said to them, because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shemayim, but to them it is not given. Heavy statement. Listen to what the Master Yeshua says. He answered and said to them, because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shemayim. The mysteries, the magic. Of the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Shemayim. But to them it is not given. And you know why there's only like 20 people in the room? I mean, the whole world needs to hear this. So what? They'll hear, but they won't hear. Why? Because you have to be present. Or they'll hear, but because they have so much knowledge, see, you have to put all your knowledge to the side for 1 minute. How many of you know knowledge can shackle you as well? Knowledge can leave you in bondage as well. You don't believe me? Look at our history as human beings. What happened in the garden? What tree did the woman take of in the garden? Was it the tree of humble pie? No. No, Alex, for 500. No, it wasn't. So you have to put all that to one side. And he answered them, because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shemayim. Who's that you today? Is it given to you to know the mysteries? But to them it is not given. So why are you all stressing out that these other people around you don't understand you? Stop. It's not given to them to know that. Well, my wife isn't getting it, Rabbi. My mom and dad, I told them, and they're not getting it, Rabbi. It's not for them to know that. Stay neutral. The Master Yeshua said, don't worry about it. All these people that's listening to these parables, and some of it is going over their heads, and they don't get it. In one ear, out the other. So be it. But what the Master's honing in on those closest to him, he said, is for you to know these mysteries, the magic of the kingdom of Shemayim, the magic of the kingdom of heavens. It's for you. But just like Hakoy was talking about at the beginning of his lecture, he's talking about, look, as soon as you understand, begin to apply these things for yourself, the first thing you want to do, your human side, is want to take it to the world. You become super Hebrew. You become judge of judges. And you sit at the right-hand side of the Abba. And you start condemning, you start telling people, oh, this, stop eating pork. You're going to hell for eating that shrimp. You no good, you low life, blah, 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 blah. That's wrong. That is like major wrong. The Master Yeshua said, it's for you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shemayim, the kingdom of heavens. It's for you. It's for you. It's for your I am. You. This is why you must be in search and find yourself. You. Not them. They're not going to get it. They're not going to accept it. See, this message is not going to be popular with the many, but the few. So, am I surprised that, we're not blowing up, we're not going viral and blowing up the internet where everybody just want to come in and listen to the universal laws and default settings? No, I'm not surprised. Because the Master told us it was the same way for the Master. All those people imagine all those people around the seashore listening to the parables the Master's giving. And then his disciples come up to him later and ask him, well, why are you speaking in parables? It's because it's given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shemayim, but to them, it is not given. Look at verse 12. This is crucial. For whosoever has, to him it shall be given. Listen to what the Master Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, is saying. For whosoever has. Listen, pay attention, Miss Bob. Remember, attention is what? Attention is what? Essential. For listen to what the Master says. For whosoever has, to him shall be given. Anybody getting it? Anybody see it? I'm telling you, I'm seeing it in the I am mode, in the subconscious. Do you see what he's saying? If you have it now, then it will be given to you. You see? But no, Rabbi, I lack. Well, guess what you're going to be given? Let's finish reading what the Master says. I mean, this is crucial stuff here. I mean, I'm popping my popcorn, I'm biting my fingernails. This is good stuff here. And he shall have more abundantly. Wow, but whosoever has not, oh, Rabbi, I lack, Rabbi. Oh, I'm lacking, and I'm just so I lack in this area. I'm not going to ever get a wife. I'm not going to ever, have a good relationship with my children. I'm not going to ever get that job. For whosoever has not, for him shall be taken away, even that he has. Because he says he what? Because he says that he has not. This person said, oh, I don't have nothing. Do you see why you're going to have to totally flip the script? You're going to totally change. We talked about change earlier. Come out of that human side and go back to your being. Your default setting is that you're fruitful. Is that you're a multiplier. Is that you're a subduer. Is that you dominate. You've been given dominion. In every aspect and area of your life. This is what's allotted to you, Mishpah. Attention is essential. The Master Yeshua in Matthew chapter 13, verse 12. I tell you what. For whosoever has, what are you saying right now? You get up every morning and you say, I have that new car. I am what? A millionaire. To him it shall be given, and he shall have more abundantly. Infinite abundance right there. Here's the key. The mysteries of Shemayim. This is magic making stuff here. You're a money magnet. Come on, Mishpah. When you say, oh no, I don't have enough money to do this. I have to pay this. I have to pay this. I have to pay. Quit paying and circulate. See what the Kohen is doing? He's helping you find yourself. Because the Master Yeshua says right here. He says it right here in
in verse 11 of Matthew chapter 13. Because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shemaim. You. So you must find yourself. You must find you. For so long you didn't know who you was. Because you're too busy chasing them. That you never got to you. It is the you that's the most important part. It's you. Well, I have to go out and save them. No, you don't. You just have to worry about you. Stay neutral to them. Just be and enjoy being. That's neutral, baby. If they want to be a Christian, just let them be a Christian and let them enjoy being a Christian. See how you can use that? If they want to be an atheist, just let them be an atheist and let them enjoy being an atheist. Neutral, baby. Neutral city. Neutral mode. Neutral way of living. While you working on you're understanding the mysteries and the magic to the kingdom of heavens. It's within you. It's for you. Not them. It's for you. Good stuff, isn't it? The Master's words, man. Once you understand them, and you know how many times I read through these verses over and over and over again? But I was reading these verses unconscious. The Master Yeshua brought consciousness. Nowhere in the Gospels does the Master talk about multiplying, because he was multiplicity. He wasn't. Why do you have to talk about it? He was. He was present. Fruitfulness was present. It just was. It was. It present. Abundance was just present. Dominion over this earth was present. You understand? It's beautiful stuff. Once you begin to see with the right eyes. Look at Matthew chapter 13, verse 13. Therefore, I speak to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand. Heavy stuff. Verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Yeshayahu, which said, by hearing you shall hear, and shall not understand. And seeing you shall see, and shall not perceive. Verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gloss, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I heal them. Wow, he gives you the whole sequence, man. Conversion starts where? It starts within. Conversion wasn't with my dinking and dunking, and I've been through a lot of dinks and dunks. Baptized and sprinkled and baptized again and dinked in the green water and dumped in the jacuzzi pool. And I'm telling you, that's not where it is. That's not conversion. The conversion starts when you go from the human to the being. Just be and enjoy being. You see? When you go from the human side, say, oh, you're going to have all these problems and blah, 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 and this is going to happen. You're going to this, you're not going to be settled. This, you grew up this way. This is the cards that you were dealt, and you have to deal with those cards that you're dealt. That's just the way it is. No, it's not. I'm here to submit to you this day that you don't have to succumb to the conditioning. You're an overcomer. You're a dominator. You subdue. You don't be subdued. That's default setting, Mr. Hall. You're fruitful. You're not fruitless. You're a multiplier. You're not a subtractor. You're in the green. You're not in the red. Come on, Miss Baham. Come on. That's in you. See, I want you to be like the Master Yeshua said. I want you to be converted. Then that's when you're going to be healed. Healing takes place once you make conversion. From the human to your being. From being unconscious to being conscious. From letting your mind dominate to letting your subconscious dominate. And let your mind begin to wonder and imagine. And call forth and reel in. And manifest all of the desires that you desire for yourself. But there's a conversion that needs to take place. And that's the mode that we're in right now. We're converting. From humans to beings. I told y'all about the sonogram with my son. I saw that sonogram, the last one that we saw. My goodness. He did look like a being. He didn't look human. That was like all ET being. He looking at me with the little molded head that's being formed. I tell you, his brain is growing now. His brain is developing as we speak right now at this stage. I tell you, it's a marvelous thing. And I talk to him every day. And I read to him every day. It's a beautiful thing. I just love this. I'm enjoying every moment now. I'm present now with the pregnancy of my wife. I'm present right now. In the now. And it's a beautiful thing. So, we need to hear. That their eyes, we need to hear. Lest at any time they should see with their eyes. Right now, you see with your eyes. You have eyes and yet you see. And you hear with your ears. And you understand with your heart. Because why? You have been converted. And now you're on the side of your I am. You're on your being side. No more of the collusion. No more of the conditioning. No more of that. You're beyond that level in your journey. And now you see life in a total different way. Healing can truly begin now. And our Kohen, the son of Aaron, has given us great tools to help us heal. Because heal is not without, it's within, you see. Just like the Master Yeshua is telling us, it's within you. Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. But the blessing is for your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. See, these things are so important that we see, not with our human side, but we see with our being side. You see with your I am side. Human side seeing fails you. You end up in the ditch, right? How many of you have been in a couple of ditches lately in your life? Because that's you were dwelling on the human side. And so be it. Now the Master Yeshua said, we're going to pull you out of the pit. If we can pull an animal out of the pit, we're going to pull you two out of the pit. The pit is not endless. It's not a bottomless pit. No, you can be pulled out of your pit. Well, Rabbi, you just don't understand my situation. Blah, 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 blah. Then the Master Yeshua goes on to say in Matthew chapter 13, verse 17, for verily I say to you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them. My goodness. This age that we're in right now, do you see how benefited, how blessed you are? I mean, think about it. Look at your families and your generations of families. How many of them had the opportunity, had that knock at the door like you have right now, to be able to totally convert back to the default settings that we talked about in Bereshit, back to fruitfulness, back to multiplicity, back to subduing, back to dominating. The dominators. And not to use it from the human nature side of things to rule over and to, no, but to use it to do what? To do marvelous things and to help others. And to help humanity. And to make this world a better place when you've been dispersed and scattered. This is why. Attention is essential. Being present is essential. Attention is essential for these things to occur. And when you have those moments of lapse, because they're going to happen, you refer back to Bereshit, chapter 1, verse 28. Know where your default is. Know what your default is. And know that you are a powerful being. Your human side may not tell you you're so powerful, but your being side is telling you you're super powerful. You're a superhero. But your human side will tell you you're just a flat zero, and that's not true. And you're going to see in your 6 days of labor that a lot of people dwell on the wrong side. They dwell on the human side, and they have yet to make the conversion. Yet religion has told them they're converted. They've converted many times over. Oh, have you converted, brother? Oh yeah, I converted. But you still can't see. You're still running into walls. You still can't hear. You're still just as deaf as deaf can be. Do you understand? So this is where we are, people. This is where we are today's time. The Master Yeshua. Why he gives these parables? Because it's given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Shemayim. This magic. Well, Rabbi, we're not to be delving in magic. This is literally magic. It's magic. How you can bring forth things. It's like magic. People really think like, wow, how could all of these things? It's magic. These are the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Some is given to, many is not. Few is given to. Let's just put it that way. Few is given to. To be able to really understand and know the mysteries. And be able to, the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, the mysteries of the universes. Law of attraction has some great principles to it, but it just leaves you hanging. It gets you almost there, but you don't cross the finish line. Who do you listen to? That's so crucial. And are you willing to change? Are you willing to accept change? Are you willing to accept it? Okay, I'm going to have to convert. Or for us, it would just be reverting back to the default settings of our ancestors. Understanding your energy. And you do what? You transmit and you receive. What are you receiving? And what are you transmitting? That's crucial. And remember, to do what? To multiply, you have to amplify. You have to keep those amps up so that you can transmit and you can receive. So that means what? That means you have to, get on your rituals that you do daily, do them daily. And you'll start to see changes in your life. The changes will come when the universe is ready to make the change. Don't put a time limit on it. Just let it happen. You just be and enjoy being. That's all you have to do. On that note, I think I'll wrap it up for this day. So remember, attention is essential. Attention is essential. Just be and enjoy being. Any questions thus far? You're ready to turn it back over to our Kohen. But continue to be practitioners of what you know is the default setting. I'm telling you, you do this, you will go very far. Many people don't even have a clue what the Master Yeshua was talking about in the Gospel. They say they're disciples, they say they love the Master Yeshua, they give you the spiel. But you stay neutral because you really have an understanding. You pull us away at the layers for way of life, how to live an abundance of a life. You see, really, these things are so vital and important. You got to put religion. You throw religion in the trash. Get back to the default settings. As Bible believers, everybody needs to go back to default settings. Nowhere in the default setting was religion even mentioned in there, was it? Was it say, okay, well, make sure you're a Christian, make sure you're a Catholic, make sure you're a Muslim. Oh, make sure you're atheist. It doesn't say that anywhere in there. You see, these are opinions of men that have been adopted as fact, and they're so far from fact. It's all fiction. it's all fiction, Nicola. It's all fiction. It's so far from fact. So we want to stick to the fact. The fact is, our default settings for us are all positive. No negative in there whatsoever. No negative at all. It's all positive. Because we're infinitely abundant people. That's what we are. And if you don't believe me, go ask Jones. Joneses will tell you. They like wealth. They like prosperity. And there's nothing wrong with that, Mishpah. If that's what they desire. Now, if you desire to be poor, I'm going to say, what am I going to say? I'm going to say, just be and enjoy being. And I'm going to leave it like that. Because I'm not staying in the poor camp. That's not me. That's not my default. That's not me. Poor is not in my vocabulary. Multiplicity is. But poor, no. So on that note, we'll wrap it up. Please, if you have any questions, please let us know. To God Roughneck for joining. And you're welcome back anytime. Come to the room. You want to grow and learn, and you want to be pleasing to the Creator of the heavens and the universe. This is where you need to be. This is where you need to be at the feet of the Kohen. Learn from the priesthood. Don't try to do it all on your own. You're not going to make it. Israel, the way the system is set up is for us to have leaders. That's the way it's set up. Moses led, sons of Aaron led, and Israel followed. That's the pattern. So we have to follow that same pattern. You can't go off here being stray sheep and just wandering in the wilderness by yourself, because you're going to find out that the wolves are going to fight your backside. You can't make it. You got to be within the fold, and you got to be under the proper leadership that was given to us, commanded by the very Bible that everyone has in their house. And that's the sons of Aaron. I'm a student of the son of Aaron, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so joyous, and I'm such at a peace, and I'm such at a state of love that nothing phases me. Because I'm back in the default setting. And believe me, there are going to be troubles, but we have overcome the troubles. Baruch Hashem, Master Jesus of Nazareth. I mean, troubles are going to come. That's just life. But we have overcome trouble. Right? You need to tell yourself the same thing. So on that note, we'll wrap it up for this Shabbat. I wish you all a great 6 days of labor ahead. And shalom, shalom, and Shabbat shalom to all of you as well. This is Rabbi Kefa, home base here in San Antonio, Texas. And back over to you, Kohen. You all have a wonderful 6 days of labor. And be students of nature, just as you are students of the laws of Moshe, the laws of Moses as well. And let your walk do your talk. Over to you, Kohen. You all have a wonderful Shabbat.
Todah for that, Rabbi Kefa. So take note that the techniques and tools that you've been given today, learn those well, especially the chakra cleaning system. It's very important you do that daily, because you want to be all cylinders firing, and you're going to see abundance coming from all directions. Your default mode is infinite abundance, and your non-default mode is the other mode that everybody tells you in churches, that you got to live poor, you got to suffer, you got to be persecuted. Those are not our modes. So the awesome tribes of Israel continue to walk in the awesome truths of the Creator that has given us those awesome truths. The rest, we leave them to the one side. We continue. The caravan continues, the dogs bark on. We just carry on. Todah, Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week ahead.